The following is a production of WCMP Sports. It's time for high school matchup here on WCMP as we have the Section 7 4A Championship where we see North Branch Vikings set to face off against the Cloquet Lumberjacks. We've got the kickoff coming up here shortly. We'll head to the field now for the pregame.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's football matchup here on 106.5 FM, AM 1350 WCMP. I am Ethan Game Day Gilman, and I will bring you all the action from tonight's Section 7 4A Championship game between the North Branch Vikings and the Cloquet Lumberjacks. It's a rare opportunity for a team to host a section championship game. Of course, that is going to be the North Branch Vikings hosting this game here this evening. Again, usually these games are at neutral sites, but tonight North Branch getting an extremely rare opportunity to be able to host a championship game here this evening in Section 7 4A. Of course, as I mentioned, I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman. We're sitting at about 43 degrees with 20 minutes left here in the pregame before we get to kickoff. And looking at these two teams and their matchups, they started playing each other back in 2015 from what I could see. They played each other 11 times since then, 5 times in the playoffs. North Branch leads the series 6-5. They played each other, as I mentioned, 5 times in the playoffs, and North Branch leads that 3-2 over Cloquet. As we take a look at both of these teams, North Branch finished the season 6-2, ranked 12th in the state in all of Class 4A. The Vikings' only 2 losses came against Grand Rapids and Hermantown, each by 3 points. Their loss against Grand Rapids was 27-24, and their loss to Hermantown was 21-18. That is missing a 2-point try each time you score because they scored 3 touchdowns. That's a 2-point or extra point miss each time you scored. So you think to yourself, if North Branch made all of their 2-point conversions or PATs, they probably win that game, but they did not. But they would get some revenge later on. We'll talk about that in just a second. Of course, looking at these two teams, North Branch, as I mentioned, only 2 losses on the year, and they came into the playoffs and got a so-called revenge victory over Hermantown, 28-20 up at Hermantown. So they traveled up there for the first round, and definitely Hermantown favored on their own home field, but North Branch came out a little bit of revenge in that one as they got the victory 28-20. That's how they get to this game and get to host it. On the other side, Cloquet, they were able to go and beat the number 1 seed, a heavily favored number 1 seed at that, Grand Rapids Thunderhawks. And going into that game, I think a lot of people, if not everybody, thought that the Thunderhawks were going to come away with a victory in that one, but not so, and the Lumberjacks got a huge upset in that one. We'll talk more about that in just a second, but continuing on with North Branch this season, they've only scored under 20 points once this season, and that was against Hermantown in the 21-18 loss. The most points they've given up in a game is 27 points. That's twice during the season, once against Grand Rapids, and the other time to this very same Cloquet team, who they beat 40-27. I was told by our own morning show host Joshua Miron, who's going to be actually PAing this game, that it was a lot closer than what the score says. Cloquet was down by only a touchdown or so, then North Branch got down, and unfortunately Cloquet had one of their young men go down for the season with an injury, so you never want to see that, and hopefully we wish him the best, and hopefully he's able to come back from that injury sooner rather than later. But North Branch averages 33.5 points per game. They give up about 20 with a margin of 13.5. They've rushed for over 300 yards 3 times this season. They've rushed for over 200 yards every game this season. So they have not had one game in which they've rushed for under 200 yards. They've had a close one where they ran for 201, but they haven't rushed for under 200 this year. They average about 288.5 rushing yards per game, with coming into this game after 9 games, 2,597 rushing yards. Again, that is after 9 games this season. In 6 games that I have stats for, they only have stats for other teams from 6 games, so that's what I'm going off of. Rush yards against is about 969 in 6 games. That's a total of 161.5 rush yards per game. Their highest passing total during the season was 112 in their loss to Grand Rapids, and they average about 30.5 pass yards per game. That's a total of 275 pass yards this season. They've allowed 313 pass yards, again, in 6 games that we have stats for. That's an average against of 52 pass yards per game for North Branch. As we continue on, total yards gained, I should say, in 9 games is 2,872 with an average of 319 per game. Yards against in 6 games is 1,282. That's an average of about 214 per game. So I would assume that would get close to averaging out around 9 games is at about the same. Again, it will fluctuate by a couple of yards here and there, but through 6 games, again, that is 214 they allow. So it's about a 100-yard difference between North Branch and their opponents this season. They have 3 players over 400 rush yards this year. Their leading rusher, Preston Peterson, who's also their quarterback, he has 630 rushing yards with 9 rushing touchdowns. Then the next rusher in line is Sam Robillard with 448 rush yards and 6 touchdowns. Then the next one is Logan Kroll with 427 yards and 5 touchdowns, so they can get it done on the ground, as we have kind of seen and talked about here throughout the pregame. And I've been able to watch them a couple times, just film-wise, and also in a game they played against Pine City to start this season out. And man, oh man, what a game that was. They went out and just got on Pine City early and often, and it looked like they really could do no wrong, and they really didn't do too much wrong in that one. And we'll talk about turnovers, too, becoming a thing for Pine City that North Branch capitalized on in that game, but North Branch here at home, they didn't turn the ball over too much this year. Very little, in fact, if at all, as we take a look at some of those stats here from the season. Turnover-wise, as we look at it, trying to get my stat sheet out, it's kind of stuck in there, but yeah, looking at it, stat-wise, defensively, they had 5 interceptions, 5 fumble recoveries for a 10 takeaways on the year, and if I remember correctly, they've only given it away about 5 times, so that's a +5 margin for them on the season. Pretty good margin for them, if you ask me, especially when a majority of those are going to come via the fumble, with a lot of teams running the ball in this part of Minnesota, but they have taken it away quite a few times. And in a game like tonight, where it is going to be a little bit colder, that ball's going to be a little bit harder to hang on to, and if you get any bit of moisture in the air, that's going to make it slick, as well as we're on turf field. So the weather could play a factor. Right now, it's not too bad. As I mentioned, it's 43 degrees at kickoff. We'll probably dip down to under 40 to about 35 as this game continues on and gets too close to its end anyways. But yeah, that ball could become slick as temperatures drop, and it's going to be harder to hang on to. Those hits when it's colder out seem to feel a little bit worse each time you get hit. But again, both teams have to deal with it, and you're just going to have to power through. Again, once you're out there, though, and you're trying to win a section championship game, it tends to be a little different. The cold doesn't become as much of a factor. Your adrenaline's pumping throughout the whole thing, but of course it's got to be controlled chaos, as we like to talk about a lot of times. That's kind of what football is controlled chaos. I mean, you legally get to go out and punish people. I mean, you get to hit people legally out here in football. So it's controlled chaos out there, and that's both teams what they got to do here tonight. As of course their adrenaline's going to be running. They're going to be wanting to win this game and get to the state tournament, but it's got to be controlled. You got to keep that adrenaline under control. You can't let it get too high, and you can't get too low. And we talk about high-low all the time as well. You can't get too high on a play to where you're too ramped up about it, and you forget to go back out on defense and do what you're supposed to do out there. And you can't get too down about it. If something goes wrong and you give up a touchdown, whatever it may be, you got to come back the very next play and go out and act like that just didn't happen, because it is such a fast-paced game, especially in a section championship like this will be. It's going to be moving fast. These two teams are going to want to get on the board. As I mentioned, these two teams put up 67 points combined in their first game against each other, with North Branch coming out on top 40-27. But tonight, I mean, with Cloquet coming through and winning that game against Grand Rapids, my goodness, they look like a much improved team here in this Cloquet team. They also did play against Duluth Denfeld in their first playoff game to begin this Section 7-4A playoffs. They won that one, And as I mentioned, we'll get into that in just a little bit. But both these teams, they know what's on the line, and they got to make sure that, again, it's controlled chaos, not so much of just letting it fly. You got to keep it under control. Make sure that you keep your head about you, because that's when, too, you can have some funky penalties get in the way when you get too high. You're celebrating a little too much. You're over a player celebrating maybe, or maybe you say something and the ref hears it. You got to make sure you keep it under control, because everything matters in a game like this, whether it's a penalty, a flag out there for a false start. That could lead to, instead of third and short, third and manageable, 3rd and 5, to a 3rd and 10 now, and now all of a sudden you've got to think of a different play to call. You've got to get out there, and instead of 5 yards, you got 10 yards to go, and that makes a huge difference. Or even 3rd and 6 from 3rd and 1. I mean, it is so different. So every little thing in this game is going to make a difference, and that's where, coaches talk all the time about doing the little things right. That is going to come to play here in no bigger event than tonight here for the football season, as these two trying to punch their ticket to the state tournament. The North Branch Vikings trying to do so. They were 2 points away last year as they played in the section championship up at Duluth-Denfeld, their field up there in Duluth against Grand Rapids. Those two teams were very evenly matched. It was a fun back-and-forth game, more of a defensive matchup in that one. I think the final score was 14-12, 14-13, something like that. And North Branch just fell in that one by only a couple of points, and there were a couple of key plays. I think one of them was just a big chunk play. It was just a big chunk play that North Branch unfortunately gave up to Grand Rapids that really turned the tide in that game and leaned it into Grand Rapids in their favor. And that's really all it was. It was one play that really turned the tide, and it's not like North Branch wasn't having a good game. They were really able to march up and down the field with their run game and their defense. My goodness, they were flying all over the place. I believe they had a couple of turnovers in that game. I know they had one for sure, because my cousin who was playing here last year actually got one of those turnovers. So it was a very fun matchup, very defensive matchup between those two teams. But this year looks a little bit different. Both of these teams do. Of course, North Branch scoring a lot of points this year. They're looking to put points up on the board early and often in this one. And on the other side for Cloquet, who we'll now talk about, they finished the season 5-3, ranked 21st in Class 4A. They lost 3 times this year to Hermantown, Grand Rapids, and North Branch. They've only scored over 27 points once during the regular season. That was against Pine City when they shut them out 41-0. They've scored 42 points in back-to-back playoff games with a 42-12 win over Duluth-Denfeld and a 42-15 win over Grand Rapids in that semifinal. The most points given up was 42. This North Branch team, so it's kind of funny. Both these teams gave up their most points on the season to each other. So if we're looking at it, these two teams, they've got some against each other coming into this one. Of course, they're also trying to punch their ticket to the state tournament. Cloquet averages about 25 points per game, and they give up about 16.5 points per game, so their defense pretty darn good. They've rushed for over 300 yards 3 times this season. They've rushed for over 400 once. That was against Duluth-Denfeld when they went off for 415 yards in that victory. In 7 games that we have stats for their team, only one game they didn't rush for over 200 yards. That was 199 versus Duluth East when they won 14-8. So only one time this year they didn't rush for over 200 yards. And again, in the 6 games that we have stats for, the other couple, they don't have stats for on those yet. Of course, the other one against Grand Rapids, they haven't put those up yet. I'm sure they'll put those up before the state tournament. But in the 6 games that we have for them, they 400 yards against Duluth-Denfeld. In 7 games that we have stats for, only one game did they rush, or didn't rush, as I mentioned, for over 100 or 200 yards, and then they average about 282 rush yards per game in 7 games. That's 1,975 rush yards this season. And as we continue on to look at their defense gave up about 196.25 rush yards per game with 1,570 they allowed all year. Their highest passing total was 93 in their loss to Hermantown. They averaged about 28 per game in 7 games and 196 total. They allowed 394 pass yards in 7 games with about a total of 49.25 yards per game passing. So a very stingy defense in this Cloquet team. They've played in a lot of close games this year, but these playoffs, if they have shown anything, they've showed their ability to twist things on its head and get things back in their favor and show teams that they are not one to be looked over, because putting up 2 games straight where you go for over 42 points, Duluth-Denfeld is one thing, but to go for over 42 or for over 40 points against a Grand Rapids team who came into the game 8-0 on the season, number 2. They were second in Class 4A in all the states. So in all of Class 4A, they were ranked as the second best team in all of Class 4A. And Cloquet came in there and said, nope, this is ours now. And they came in there and they wrecked them 42-15. So Cloquet has shown that their offense can get rolling and they can put up the points. So they're showing North Branch that, hey, we can stick with your high-powered offense that you show that you have. Some of the keys to the game here tonight for me offensively for North Branch. I don't think you need to change too much offensively. If you want to change anything, maybe throw in a screen or two here and there, but I don't really think you need to change anything. What you've done is worked all season. I know we've seen that they have passed for over 100 yards in a game this season, and maybe if the run game ain't working right away, early on, maybe switch to that. You don't want to do it too early because you never know. You get that one run that breaks off for 15, 20, 25 yards, and then all of a sudden the offense seemingly gets back on track. So you don't want to change it too early, but you also want to throw a wrench in the defensive scheme that the Lumberjacks will have for you. So I think for North Branch, that's going to be one of the things. You don't need to necessarily change the offensive scheme. Just stick with your guns of what you've been doing all season long. And I think another thing is going to be take time off the clock. It's going to be a cold game tonight. There is going to be probably a little bit of dew, maybe, so to speak, on the field, and that's going to make the ball a little bit slippery, especially if you get any moisture in the air on a cold night, and that'll make it a little bit hard to hang on to. So I think if you're North Branch, you want to eliminate the chance for turnovers, but you want to take some time off the clock. Don't let North Branch go down the field and score in a hurry because they have shown the ability to put up the points here in the playoffs, and the last thing you want to do as North Branch is give up 40-plus points at a home game for a section championship game, a rare host for a home game here, or championship game here for North Branch. And another thing is just, it kind of goes into it, long drives. Take a bunch of time off the clock and make that defense stay out on the field. Then your defense can go out there, get a quick stop, and get the ball back for your offense, and sooner than later, that defense is going to get way too tired and is not going to be able to keep up. On the other side for Cloquet, I think you should pass the ball a little bit in that game. Like I said, from Joshua Mirren, who was PAing that game here against Cloquet, he said they passed the ball pretty well. So I think if you're Cloquet, you might want to get back to the pass game. And again, it's been the deep pass game that they have really had success with. So maybe try and go to that well early on. Maybe see if you can't get a chunk play downfield, or at the worst case scenario, get a pass interference call that brings the ball down the field 15 yards. So I think if you're Cloquet, you got to set a tone early on because you're in North Branch tonight for a section championship game. Doesn't happen often, but if you're Cloquet, you're on the road. North Branch has confidence because they've already beat you once here in North Branch. The state tournament goes through them because you got to win here tonight to get there. So if you're Cloquet, you got to set a tone early on here tonight, I think, on offense. Why not chuck a ball downfield early on? Score quickly because, again, we've seen it. 42 points in back-to-back playoff games, and we mentioned it when I was talking about North Branch's defense. I think if you're Cloquet, you want to get out and score early and often and put up points on this North Branch team and get them reeling and eliminate turnovers. We know turnovers are a huge key to the game here for both sides, but I think if you're Cloquet, you want to eliminate turnovers because they've been doing a pretty good job lately of getting the ball. So eliminate turnovers on the offensive side of the ball for Cloquet. On the defensive side of the thing, as I talked about it before, North Branch is going to have to defend the pass. We've seen Cloquet's ability to chuck it deep, but you're also going to have to counter. You want to really counter that option play. Cloquet doesn't run it a ton, but when they do, man, do they run it effectively, and teams just have a hard time stopping it. So if you're North Branch, you're really going to have to defend against the option because, again, they don't run it extremely often. It's not like every 2-3 plays they're running it, but when they do, they execute it with such precision that it looks like they've been running it all year long. So you're going to have to defend that. And I think another thing that they're going to have to defend against is filling holes and watching the cutback lane. We've seen Cloquet and their running back Colin Bonneville. He is a master at finding the cutback lane and one cut up the field, and he is gone. He has got some speed to him, so you can't allow him to find a cutback lane out there because once he does, he gets his foot in the ground, turns it upfield, and he is gone. He has that ability. So I think you've got to counter the cutback lanes. You can't allow them to get there. You're going to have to fill holes. On the other side for Cloquet, you want to crowd the line of scrimmage. They know that North Branch is going to run the ball. You know that they're going to do that, and you got to crowd the line of scrimmage. Make sure to get some pressure on that O-line early and often and make them think about it the next time they're going to try and run the ball. Because you do that early enough, they're going to start thinking about that any time before the snap, and that'll get them off their game soon. And then, of course, again, for Cloquet, it's kind of the same story that we talked about with North Branch. You got to defend the cutback lane. North Branch, again, they're a team who can find the cutback lane. It's almost by design sometimes that they have the cutback lane open because it is wide open a lot. But they have some running backs who are not afraid to jam it up the hole when there's nothing there and try and just grind out 2, 3, 4 yards. And they've got the offensive line to push them forward. Now, they're not big offensive linemen, but they're strong enough and they're aggressive enough to where it's a small little hole. The running back finds just a crease, and they will give that running back the push that they need to go 3, 4, even 5 yards downfield after contact. So you're going to have to fill the cap and then force a rush up the middle. You've got some good defensive linemen here for Cloquet. You're going to have to force that rush into the middle. Don't let them get outside, because when they do, North Branch is good at getting to the edge and tearing it up on the sideline and getting to the end zone. So you got to fill and make sure you get that up the middle. Key players, I think, for North Branch, of course, is going to be their quarterback, Preston Peterson. We've mentioned he can throw the ball. We've mentioned he's their leading rusher. So I think if you're North Branch, Preston Peterson is the guy to watch out for. And then on the other side, of course, it's Colin Bonneville. There is no other guy that is a key player for Cloquet. Well, there is, but to me, the impact player, if you're going to put a highlight on someone, if you play NCAA football at all, put that white star underneath a player, it's going to be Colin Bonneville for the Cloquet Lumberjacks. He is a madman out there when he has the ball in his hand, whether it's making a move, one cut, jump cut up the field. He has got the speed and the moves to get by any defender that is in his way. So you got to make sure you're watching out for him. Defensively, I didn't really put down a player. I put down more a group, the cornerbacks and the linebackers. The cornerbacks for the North Branch Vikings and the linebackers for the Cloquet Lumberjacks are my key players here for tonight, because for Cloquet, it's going to be the linebackers, because they're going to have to make a lot of tackles here tonight against these North Branch Vikings running backs. And for Cloquet, for North Branch, they got to watch the pass. They know that this Cloquet team can pass the ball. Well, we're going to get our starting lineups, our national anthem played, and when we come back, we'll be ready for kickoff here at the Section 7 4A championship game between the North Branch Vikings and the Cloquet Lumberjacks. We'll be right back after a word from our fine sponsors.
No appointment? No problem. Injuries and feeling ill don't always happen during normal business hours. That's why Wellia Health has urgency services open 7 days a week. Urgency Services in Pine City offers the care you need when you need it. Hours are now 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 days a week. No need to call or make an appointment. Just stop in. When tomorrow isn't soon enough and normal business hours just won't do, you can count on Wellia Health to be there for you. Live life well at Wellia Health.
It's almost time to start pushing snow. Sorry, just the messenger. Thankfully, Minnesota Equipment in Isanti has affordable machines to do the heavy lifting. Any size property. Toro and Aaron's walk behind snow blowers. Oh, you got land, huh? How about John Deere lawn and garden tractors? Or a compact utility tractor? Minnesota Equipment has them in stock. Snow removal doesn't have to be backbreaking. Not if you get into Minnesota Equipment. Highway 65 in Isanti. Or visit minnesotaequipment.com. End of the season means savings at Minnesota Equipment. Save big on remaining zero turns in stock. Bravely, Aaron's, Toro, and John Deere. Buy now with 0% financing available. That's 0 on zero turns. Need a walk behind instead? I got plenty of those too. On site and ready to go. The knowledgeable staff will get you the machine that fits your property size. Minnesota Equipment. Your neighbors. Your experts. Your neighborly experts. Highway 65 in Isanti or at minnesotaequipment.com.
Most Americans do not have a proper will or estate plan in place. Many of you listening have been putting off that important task for a long time. Stop waiting and contact Spear & Swanson today. Spear & Swanson can help you put together a tight legal estate plan to make sure the assets you've been working so hard to obtain get passed on to your loved ones in the way that best fits you. Spear & Swanson, attorneys at law in Pine City. Call 320-629-7586. That's 320-629-7586.
October is College Knowledge Month at Pine Technical and Community College. The whole month, PTCC will be providing a variety of events for high school students and the community to learn more about college options. College Knowledge Month is meant to provide future students with the preparation, opportunity, and support needed to apply to college. Join PTCC for a nursing program information session on October 26th at 2:30 p.m. Everyone is welcome. Learn more at pine.edu.
Choose the right divorce attorney. Spear and Swanson will make sure the judge knows your side of the story. Let them help you with your divorce, custody, child support, harassment, or orders for protection. They also handle DWIs and other legal matters. The right divorce attorney does make a difference. That's why you need to choose Spear and Swanson, attorneys at law in Pine City. Call 320-620-7586.
Kathy Carcetti at Remax Synergy is dedicated to helping all her clients find homes of their dreams. Buying or selling a home, or just curious about the local market? With over 32 years of helping people, Kathy can help guide you through the nuances of the local market with access to top listings and a worldwide network. Kathy Carcetti will work hard to make your real estate experience memorable and enjoyable. At this time, Kathy would like to say good luck to the North Branch Vikings.
Hey, I'm Chad Greenway. When I was playing, I loved chasing down running backs. But you shouldn't have to chase your bank around when you're buying a home. Franzen Bank and Trust Mortgage Consultants will be with you stride for stride, like a linebacker on a running back, from pre-approval to closing and beyond. Let Franzen Bank guide you through the mortgage process. Learn more at franzenbank.com/get-there. Franzen Bank and Trust. Real people, real results. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
No appointment? No problem. Injuries and feeling ill don't always happen during normal business hours. That's why Wellia Health has urgency services open 7 days a week. Urgency Services in Pine City offers the care you need when you need it. Hours are now 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 days a week. No need to call or make an appointment. Just stop in. When tomorrow isn't soon enough and normal business hours just won't do, you can count on Wellia Health to be there for you. Live life well at Wellia Health.
It's almost time to start pushing snow. Sorry, just the messenger. Thankfully, Minnesota Equipment in Isanti has affordable machines to do the heavy lifting. Any size property. Toro and Aaron's walk behind snow blowers. Oh, you got land, huh? How about John Deere lawn and garden tractors? Or a compact utility tractor? Minnesota Equipment has them in stock. Snow removal doesn't have to be backbreaking. Not if you get into Minnesota Equipment. Highway 65 in Isanti. Or visit minnesotaequipment.com. End of the season means savings at Minnesota Equipment. Save big on remaining zero turns in stock. Gravely, Aaron's, Toro, and John Deere. Buy now with 0% financing available. That's zero on zero turns. Need a walk behind instead? I got plenty of those too. On site and ready to go. The knowledgeable staff will get you the machine that fits your property size. Minnesota Equipment. Your neighbors. Your experts. Your neighborly experts. Highway 65 in Isanti or at minnesotaequipment.com.
Most Americans do not have a proper will or estate plan in place. Many of you listening have been putting off that important task for a long time. Stop waiting and contact Spear and Swanson today. Spear and Swanson can help you put together a tight legal estate plan to make sure the assets you've been working so hard to obtain get passed on to your loved ones in the way that best fits you. Spear and Swanson, attorneys at law in Pine City. Call 320-629-7586. That's 320-629-7586.
October is College Knowledge Month at Pine Technical and Community College. The whole month, PTCC will be providing a variety of events for high school students and the community to learn more about college options. College Knowledge Month is meant to provide future students with the preparation, opportunity, and support needed to apply to college. Join PTCC for a nursing program information session on October 26th at 2:30 p.m. Everyone is welcome. Learn more at pine.edu.
Choose the right divorce attorney. Spear and Swanson will make sure the judge knows your side of the story. Let them help you with your divorce, custody, child support, harassment, or orders for protection. They also handle DWIs and other legal matters. The right divorce attorney does make a difference. That's why you need to choose Spear and Swanson, attorneys at law in Pine City. Call 320 620-7586.
Kathy Carcetti at Remax Synergy is dedicated to helping all her clients find homes of their dreams. Buying or selling a home, or just curious about the local market? With over 32 years of helping people, Kathy can help guide you through the nuances of the local market with access to top listings and a worldwide network. Kathy Carcetti will work hard to make your real estate experience memorable and enjoyable. At this time, Kathy would like to say good luck to the North Branch Vikings.
Hey, I'm Chad Greenway. When I was playing, I loved chasing down running backs. Well, you shouldn't have to chase your bank around when you're buying a home. Franzen Bank and Trust Mortgage Consultants will be with you stride for stride, like a linebacker on a running back, from pre-approval to closing and beyond. Let Franzen Bank guide you through the mortgage process. Learn more at franzenbank.com/get there. Franzen Bank and Trust. Real people, real results. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back here. You're listening to Section 7 4A Championship Football here on WCMP 106.5 FM, AM 1350. You can hear it online at WCMPradio.com. Just click live on 106.5 AM 1350 side of it. Of course, it is on YouTube, but it is audio only on YouTube. So no video, only audio on the YouTube side of things. But we are up there. Again, audio only. Well, these two teams just about set to do battle again during the regular season. North Branch got the victory 40-27, but here we are at the Section 7 4A championship game in North Branch at their field. And it should be a good one again. Turf field, going to be nice to be playing on for these two teams. North Branch looking to just really stay home and only have to travel right to the high school after the win. Cloquet, though, if they get the victory, the ride back home would be much, much sweeter, and it wouldn't certainly feel as long. Both teams getting set to get out there. Looks like it'll be Nicholas Bovitz, the kicker here for the North Branch Vikings. That's who's going to be kicking off for North Branch, and down returning, and I can't see, of course, because they're turned to the side. I'll try and let you know who's back deep to return. But we're getting set to kick this off, and Bovitz with the boot. And this one is down the left side of the field. It is going to bounce at around the 27, be picked up at the 25. And he's down the sideline. A missed tackle breaks him loose. And then we get whistles, and they're going to call him out, and the ref had a flag out, but he's going to put it back in his pocket. They're going to spot him back to around the 44 on the North Branch side of the field. The returner, Colin Bonneville. We mentioned him in the pre-game. Talked about how he was going to be an impact player tonight for the Cloquet Lumberjacks, and he was right there already getting going with a big return to the Vikings' 44-yard line. So Cloquet will start in Viking territory. And their quarterback, Reese Sheldon, will take them to the line. He'll be under center. And give up the middle there to number 4. He breaks through, doesn't get tackled until about the 39-yard line. That's where he's hit. He gets down to the 39. Solid pick up of 5 there. And that was Alexander Omengi. Well, he gets the first carry. And picks up 5. 5 yards on the first carry. They'll set up in the gun now, will the Lumberjacks. He's got 2 receivers at the top of the formation. Tries to get the hard count going, but it's not going to work. They're going to run that option to Bonneville to the outside. He has to grab it behind his back, and then he picks up maybe a yard before he's taken down by a couple of Vikings players. Out there on the tackle with him was Samuel Robillard. He makes the stop, and it's going to be a gain of about 3 for Bonneville on that option play. Of course, they run that. And again, as I mentioned, not super often, but they run it enough to where they run it well. 3rd down and 2 now for the Cloquet Lumberjacks. North Branch trying to get off the field early. It's going to be a 3rd and long 2. They'll set up in their normal base formation. 2 running backs. in the backfield. They're going to give it off to Bonneville. No, Moles taken down in the backfield. He breaks one tackle at the 35, falls forward near the 30. It's going to be a first down carry there for Colin Bonneville. And let's see where they place him. It looks like they'll spot him at about the 31-yard line, so it'll be a pickup of 5 and enough for a first down there for the Lumberjacks. So a third down carry that gets enough for the first from Bonneville. And already 10:20 to go here in the first quarter as the Lumberjacks start with it here to begin the first quarter. Two receivers at the top of the formation here for Sheldon. He sends a man in motion right to left. He's going to give it off to the running back, Blair Chartier, and he's taken down in the backfield on that carry. And on the stop, that is going to be number 25, Nolan Volner, on the stop. That's going to be a big loss there for the Lumberjacks, just going backwards on that one. Not what you want to have happen. That'll push it back all the way back to the 38-yard line, a loss of about 7 there for Chartier. So it'll be second and extra long now. They'll line up with two running backs in the formation behind the quarterback. Fake it one way, give it off. And now the quarterback, Sheldon, looking to throw. He's just going to throw it downfield. Nearly getting sacked, though, by the man Volner, who took the player down for the loss. He took Chartier down for a loss of about 7 on the last play, nearly getting a sack on this one. Great play fake there by Sheldon to Bonneville, but North Branch just wasn't fooled, especially Volner. He was trying to get the sack, and he let up just in time so as to avoid the roughing the passer penalty. And Sheldon just threw that one away towards the 30. It'll be his first incompletion of the night on their first pass attempt. So they'll line up third down and extra long. Third down and about 17 here for the Lumberjacks. They'll line up in the shotgun formation. Two receivers at the bottom of the formation. Take the snap fake to Bonneville. It'll be a shovel pass forward, and they're going nowhere. Chartier with the catch. I don't think he got anything. Let's see where they spot the ball. They might give him a yard, but that's it. So Chartier with the catch on the shovel pass forward. Maybe picked up 1, and that'll bring up fourth down and long. So they will line up to punt this ball away. Will the Cloquet Lumberjacks back to punt it away is Dane Painovich. He'll look to punt this ball away to the Vikings, and they got a man sitting back there inside the 15. He's still backing up. This punt is away. End-over-end kick is going to be bouncing, and that might get to the end zone, and it will. Cloquet got on top of it, but they rolled into the end zone as they were on it, so that will bring it out to the 20. And that's where the North Branch Vikings will take over with their first possession here in the first quarter. That Cloquet drive ate up about 4 minutes of clock. Got about 8:34 left to go here in the first quarter. No score in this Section 7 4A championship game here at North Branch between the Vikings and the Cloquet Lumberjacks. Leading that team on offense will, of course, be Preston Peterson. And Pearson under center, going to give it off here off the right side to their running back, and he really goes nowhere. Had no chance, really. Logan Kroll on the carry. Doesn't pick up much, if anything. And I don't think he got anything on that one. Maybe a half yard. That's about it for Logan Kroll. Again, not much to speak of there, of room to run through for Kroll. So they'll bring it to a second down, and we'll call it 9. Give off the right side once again, and nowhere to go for the running back that time. And on the carry, that time was number 14, and that, of course, is Samuel Robillard. He'll pick up a couple, maybe a gain of 3, we'll call it, for Robillard. And that'll make it third down and 7. Third down and 7 here for the North Branch Vikings. They break the huddle quickly, get to the line of scrimmage. They're looking to go fast. Peterson under center. Tries to go with the hard count. They did not bite on it, so he'll have to go to the sideline, check with his coach, head coach Justin Voss, what he wants to do. And they're going to run it here. On the right side, he breaks a tackle, and he's off to the races, and luckily taken down at the 45. But it's a big gain there for Logan Kroll from the 23 to the 45. It's a gain of 22 for Logan Kroll on third and 7. First down carry there for Logan Kroll off the right side of the line. He was nearly gone, but he was lucky to be taken down. Tried to give the defender a stiff arm, but he held on and brought him down, luckily, because otherwise he was off and gone for the game's first touchdown. But it's going to be first down and 10 from the 45-yard line. 6:50 to go here in the first quarter. Vikings starting to move the ball now. Peterson under center, power T formation. He's going to give it off up the middle. He's got some room to run past the 50, and that's where he's going to be taken down on the other side of the 50. That is Logan Kroll again on the carry. He gets it to the 48-yard line. A solid gain of 7. Second and about 3 to go, maybe a long 3. Ball on the 48 of the Lumberjacks now, and all of a sudden, and like I mentioned before, you get one play that kind of pops for you, and all of a sudden you've got room to run. Vikings will get back to the line, and they'll go under that power T formation. Preston Peterson under center, takes the snap. He's going to give it off to Robillard again. He breaks off of one tackle, falls forward. He spun off that tackle. I don't know how he stayed up, but he did to the 42-yard line, and that will be enough for a first down from Logan Kroll. A gain of 6 from Logan Kroll. Another first down here for the North Branch Vikings. Good gain from Logan Kroll, and so far he's kind of taken over so far. Running the ball. Preston Peterson will get the ball or call back into the huddle from the sideline. His give up the middle here. This time up the middle. He's got some room to run, and he's finally taken down at the 25. I believe that's 37. Maybe it's Logan Kroll. Cannot see the jersey number, but as soon as I do, it's going to be to the 25. That is number 37, Vincent Beck, on the carry. So Vincent Beck on the carry takes it from the 42 to about the 26. Gain of about 17 for Vincent Beck. So he gets his first carry of the evening. They'll go back, power T formation. Preston Peterson under center. Takes the snap. He's going to give it off to Kroll once again off the right side of the line. Busts through, and he falls forward to about the 19. It's going to be a pickup of 6 for Logan Kroll. Another gain of 6. And it'll be second down and 4 now for the North Branch Vikings inside the red zone. With 4:40 to go here in the first quarter. No score between these two teams. Cloquet possessed it once. North Branch still on their first possession, but they're marching it down the field. They started at their own 20, and now inside the 20 at the 19-yard line on the far side of the field as Preston Peterson will run that play call in from the sideline to his huddle. They'll break the huddle pretty quickly and get to the line. Peterson under center. Peterson is going to take the snap, give it off to Robillard again. Tries to bounce off of a tackle, but he'll fall forward to about the 16, 17-yard line. And it'll be close, depending on the spot. Looks like right in between at the 16.5. It'll be a gain of about, 2.5 for Logan Kroll. Maybe even closer. So third and about a half yard to go here for the North Branch Vikings with 3:45 to go in the first quarter. Vikings driving inside the Cloquet 20 now. And third down and short. At the 16.5-yard line, Peterson under center, power T formation. Peterson takes the snap. He's going to give it off the other way now, and that time was to Sam Robillard, and he has enough for a first down to the 14, maybe even 13-yard line. And it'll be a first down, and that ball will be spotted at the 13. It's a gain of 3 from Sam Robillard and a first down. Vikings with 3:20 to go in the first quarter. Inside the red zone go the Vikings, just marching the ball down the field here. Preston Peterson again. Jogs back out to his huddle. Got the play clock dipping down to about 10 seconds now as they'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Power T formation here for Preston Peterson. We haven't seen him take off with it yet. Let's see if we do. No, he'll give it off to Kroll off the right side. He breaks it off of one, cuts it up the middle, tries to break off of one, but he's ankle tackled, and I believe the ball came out. I think the ball came out at the end from Logan Kroll. I believe that's a turnover and a takeaway by Cloquet. It is. Oh my goodness, Kroll got it down to about the 2 or 3 yard line, and as he was trying to get his ankle out of a tackle, it was stripped from him, and Cloquet will take it away. So talk about a momentum shifter as Cloquet will take the ball. But they'll be inside their own 10, but nonetheless, they have taken the ball away on what was looking to be surely a touchdown drive from the Vikings has turned in now to Cloquet ball inside their own 5 yard line. First down and 10 from the 2. They'll line up 2 running backs behind the quarterback, Sheldon Reese, and you give to Bonneville, and he'll get it off the left side of the line, and he won't see much of anything, maybe a yard, 2 if he's lucky. We'll see what they give him, maybe a gain of 1. Second down and 9. Ball spotted at the 3 yard line for Colin Bonneville. Again, if there's a guy you trust in this situation, it is Bonneville. He is the impact player on the offense that I have for the Cloquet Lumberjacks. Second down and 9 now for Cloquet. Sheldon will give it off, and he'll give it off up the middle this time, and a decent chunk of yards picked up there by Bonneville. Omengi will get it to the, they'll spot him at around the 9 yard line. So not as good as I thought. He fell forward. So 3rd and 3 now after the 6 yard pickup to the 9 from Omengi. 3rd down and 3. North Branch has a prime opportunity to get some field position back if they hold them here and get a punt. Sheldon will give it off, and he's going to be taken down in the backfield. A loss to about the 6 yard line for Omengi. And he gets to back to the 7, and that's it. It's going to be loss of about 3-4 yards for Omengi. So that'll bring up 4th down, and that's going to force Cloquet to punt. And now North Branch has a great opportunity to get some great starting field position after turning the ball over. Vincent Beck back to return for the North Branch Vikings. Of course, it is Painovich set to punt for Cloquet. Beck standing at the Cloquet 42 yard line, and we're going to get a timeout called here. Leave timeout Cloquet. So that'll be their first here of the evening, as they will take a timeout and kind of discuss what they want to do here on this 4th down play with about 53 seconds to go here in the first quarter. No score. The kind of story here, the first quarter was North Branch. They started on their own 20 after forcing Cloquet to punt. They started on their own 20, marched it down inside the 10 to about the 2 yard line, and it was a fumble from Logan Kroll, who had been awesome on that drive for the Vikings. He fumbled it and gave it back to Cloquet. They started within their own 5, and now North Branch has got him to a 4th down and 5 and looking to punt. So the turnover on what it seemed to be a for sure touchdown drive from the Vikings is instead was a turnover, and Cloquet takes over inside their own 5, and they will look to punt it again. But this time it's not going to be Beck back there. Instead they'll put Kroll back there, and going to put him back, and he'll stand back behind the 30 yard line. And the punt is away. That's going to take a Cloquet roll. Kroll going to get to it at the 42 yard line. Takes it, cuts it out to the outside, and he's dragging a defender, and he's finally taken down at about the 36, 35 yard lines where the nose of the ball will sit. So a return of about 7 there from Logan Kroll, and the North Branch Vikings offense will have pretty darn good field position starting at the Cloquet 35 yard line on their second possession here in this first quarter. So each team has possessed it twice, and unless a turnover happens again or a quick score from North Branch, that should be the only 4 possessions we see, 2 for each side. Of course, North Branch will get the ball. 42 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. No score between these two teams. Preston Peterson under center. Power T formation, takes a snap, gives it off to Logan Kroll off the right side. He hurdles over one defender, plows forward to the 30, still not down, and he'll carry a defender inside the 30 to about the 28 yard line. It's a pickup of 8 from Logan Kroll, and it'll make it 2nd down and 2. Logan Kroll was kind of the bell cow on that first drive for North Branch, And he starts off with a nice carry on first down of 8 yards. Be second down and 2 now for the Vikings, and Preston Pearson will get the call from sideline, and he'll bring it back into the huddle. 10 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Be interesting to see if they snap the ball. 7-6-5. And Preston Pearson will take the snap, gives it off to Kroll again, and Kroll he is taken down by Omengi. No gain on that one, back to the 27. No gain on the carry from Kroll, and Omengi came in like a bat out of you-know-where to make the stop, and that'll make it third down and 2, and that will bring us to the end of the first quarter here at North Branch. No score as we move to the second quarter in this Section 7 4A championship game between the Vikings of North Branch and the Cloquet Lumberjacks. We'll take a commercial break. You're listening to football on WCMP.
No appointment? No problem. Injuries and feeling ill don't always happen during normal business hours. That's why Wellia Health has urgency services open 7 days a week. Urgency Services in Pine City offers the care you need when you need it. Hours are now 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 days a week. No need to call or make an appointment. Just stop in. When tomorrow isn't soon enough and normal business hours just won't do, you can count on Wellia Health to be there for you. Live life well at Wellia Health.
It's almost time to start pushing snow. Sorry, just the messenger. Thankfully, Minnesota Equipment in Isanti has affordable machines to do the heavy lifting. Any size property. Toro and Aaron's walk behind snow blowers. Oh, you got land, huh? How about John Deere lawn and garden tractors? Or a compact utility tractor? Minnesota Equipment has them in stock. Snow removal doesn't have to be backbreaking. Not if you get into Minnesota Equipment. Highway 65 in Isanti. Or visit minnesotaequipment.com.
106.5 FM, AM 1350, your home for tonight's Section 7 4A championship game between the North Branch Vikings and Cloquet Lumberjacks. No score here as we are in the second quarter. Third down and about 2 here for North Branch. Preston Peterson under center takes the snap. He's going to give it off again to Logan Kroll off the right side. He has plenty for a first down, and he carries it to about the 20 from the 27. It's a pickup of 7 for Logan Kroll and a first down for North Branch. So North Branch giving it to Kroll early and often here in this game. Start the second quarter, they'll have a first down carry from Logan Kroll. No score as I mentioned. North Branch will now be going left to right on your radio dial, or traveling from the north and traveling south if you're a directions person. North Branch wearing their black home jerseys, white numbers outlined in red pants, red helmet. Cloquet wearing their white away jerseys, black pants with the 2 purple stripes with the white stripe down the middle, and their black helmets. North Branch in power T formation, first down. They're going to give it off here on the left side, and they're, oh no, it's Preston Pearson who keeps it. They did a really good job of faking that one, and Preston Pearson takes off with it for the first time inside the 15 to about the 13 and a half yard line. A decent pickup there. I think they spot the ball right on the 13. So gain of 7, make it third down, or second, in a long 3. That's the first time Peterson has taken off with it tonight, and it was great fakes by the running backs. I was confused. I didn't know who had it. He had it on the outside. Wasn't taken down until about the 13-yard line. Second down and 3 now for North Branch. Inside the red zone once again last time. They turned it over, this time hoping for a better result. He'll give it up the middle this time, and nowhere to go for the running back there. And that time Sam Robillard on the carry. No gain for Robillard, and that'll bring up third down. So third down and 3 now for the North Branch Vikings. 10:25 to go here in the second quarter. No score between these two teams. North Branch so far on third down pretty good, but of a third and probably the longest of the night. Preston Pearson under center, power T formation, gives it off to Logan Kroll off the right side, and who else will take it? He'll plow forward and get to the 10, inside the 10 to the 9, and Robillard will have it for a 4-yard gain and just enough for a North Branch first down. I believe I said Robillard, it's Kroll. Kroll for a first down if I said Robillard. So Kroll, another first down carry for him. As we reach inside the 10-yard line, ball going to sit at about the 9 with under 10 minutes to go here in the second quarter. North Branch again trying to get on the board. They had a chance last time with Kroll, but he fumbled it inside the 5 to give it to Cloquet. Their defense stepped up, though, and now they're on a nice drive again. Preston Peterson will hand it off on the outside. That's to Vincent Beck. And Vincent Beck going to get inside the 5 to about the 2-yard line. So a gain of 7 for Vincent Beck. And it'll be second down and goal now for the North Branch Vikings at about the 2.5-yard line. Vincent Beck nearly broke it in. Just missed. So they'll go second down and go. Power T formation here for Preston Peterson and the Vikings. Peterson takes the snap, gives it off to Kroll, and he looks, goes into the pile of the defense, and he's not going to get there. Logan Kroll tried to jam it in to his offensive line, kind of created a mess, and unfortunately he was unable to power through there and get into the end zone, so that'll make it third down and goal from the 2. So third down and goal here for the North Branch Vikings. And they will look to punch it in the end zone here. Peterson under center, going to give it off here to Logan Kroll once again. He takes it outside into the end zone. Goes Logan Kroll for the 2-yard rushing touchdown and put the Vikings on the board first. That's his 12th carry that will put the Vikings on the board and make it 6-0. So the North Branch Vikings get on the board first here and make it a 6-0 game. And of course they will line up to go for the extra point. The snap is down, spot good, kick is up, and that is good as well. PAT is good, and we have a 7-0 lead on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Mentioning them for the first time tonight, Embrace Orthodontics custom braces or Invisalign with 3 locations in Pine City, Lindstrom, and Cambridge. EmbraceMN.com. Don't forget, Dr. Severs is committed to providing world-class orthodontic care in a friendly and comfortable atmosphere. You can start today at EmbraceMN.com. And they also are helping you find the smile you'll embrace forever. Find out more at EmbraceMN.com. Well, the North Branch Vikings take the lead here in the second quarter after Logan Kroll punches it in from 2 yards out with 8:24 to go. They had the chance to get into the end zone last time with Logan Kroll, but he fumbled it inside the 5. Luckily, his defense did a good job of stopping the Cloquet offense with really nowhere to go. On a third down play, they tackled the running back down for a loss, and they were forced to punt were the Lumberjacks, and the return from Kroll got them back inside the 40, and they took it in from there. Of course, that drive bled in from the first quarter when they started with it with about 50 seconds left, and the kick was no good, by the way. It looked good from here. So 6-0 is the score. North Branch with the lead, and kicking it off will be Nicholas Bovitz. And there's the kick. It's going to be more of an onside roller. It's going to bounce and bounce and bounce, and finally picked up by the Lumberjacks, Warren Hatala, inside the 30. So it was more of a deep onside kick there, and North Branch nearly got to that one, but Hatala able to jump on top of it at the 26-yard line. So that's where they'll start on their third possession here in the second quarter. They had 2 in the first. Again, the kick no good from North Branch when it looked good from here, but again, the angle can be very different down from here to the field. Reese Sheldon will start in the gun. Takes the snap. He's going to fake. He'll keep it, trying to take it up the middle. Instead, he pops it out to the outside, trying to break a tackle. He does at the 25. Plows forward, and he's taken down around the 31-yard line. Reese Sheldon on the carry. Shook a defender, and he got it to the 30. It'll be a pickup of 4 for Reese Sheldon. Well, that'll make it second down and 6 now for the Cloquet Lumberjacks. Sheldon, that's his first time taking the ball and holding on to it himself. So now they break the huddle. 7:45 to go here in the second quarter. North Branch leads 6-0. Shotgun formation again. 2 receivers at the top of the formation. You got a tight end on the left side. They'll take the snap, and they'll give it this time to Bonneville off the left sideline, and he's got the edge, and he has some speed. He's taking it up the field, trying to get around Kroll, and Kroll will take him down, but not until he gets to the 40-yard line of the Vikings. Bonneville with a huge carry on that one. Call it about 30 yards for Colin Bonneville on that one. From 130 to the other side to the 40. And Bonneville, once he gets to the outside, again, he's hard to stop. He's got some speed, and he's got a couple moves in his arsenal that he can use. And he gets to the 40, and it's one play, and all of a sudden, Cloquet is in North Branch territory. 7:15 to go here in the second quarter. Two receivers top of the formation. Sheldon in the gun, takes the snap. He's going to roll out to the left, trying to cut it upfield. There's the cutback, and the cutback lane to the outside, and he's finally pushed out. Let's see where they spot him at the 29. It'll be a pickup of 11 there for Sheldon, and all of a sudden, Cloquet has found some momentum. And again, found a little bit of a cutback lane to the outside and used his speed to get it to the 29-yard line. Another new set of downs now for the Lumberjacks. So 7:05 to go here in the second quarter, and all of a sudden the Lumberjacks trying to score quickly. Same formation, two receivers at the top of the formation for the Lumberjacks. It'll be Chartier in motion from left to right. He'll get the ball, and he'll try to cut it upfield, and he's taking a fumble. Ball's on the ground. Ball's on the ground. Let's see who has it. I think North Branch had people there, but I believe Cloquet might have bounced on top of it. Let's see. I think Cloquet might have actually got back on top of it. North Branch had players there, but I think Cloquet jumped on. No, it is North Branch Viking ball. So Chartier took it to the outside, cut it up the field, and as he was hit, the ball popped out, and the Vikings will have their first takeaway of the evening, and that now evens the turnover battle at one apiece, and the North Branch Vikings will take over with the ball at the 23-yard line on their own side of the field. So when you've got a team that is driving and driving quickly, that is one way to really switch momentum. And that's what the Vikings did right there. With 6:55 to go here in the first quarter, the North Branch Vikings will take over. This their third possession of the first half. Their second, really, in the second quarter. They lead 6-0, and now we'll try and go down the field and get another 6 points up on the board. Peterson under center, power T formation, takes the snap. He's going to give it off up the middle. And Peterson instead takes it himself. He's past the 30. It depends on the spot. They'll take him to the 32-yard line. Be a gain of 10, but the spot will really determine if it's a first down or not. It's going to be second and short, about a half yard. So second and a half yard here for the North Branch Vikings. Ball at the 32-yard line. Peterson will take his men to the line, power T formation. Peterson takes the snap, gives it off to Kroll. He'll get up the middle, and he's got some room to run. Breaks it out to the outside. Makes another man miss at the 45. He's got some room to run to the 50, the 45, 40. Falls forward to about the 35, and Logan Kroll takes it for a huge gain from the 32 to the 36-yard line. Excuse me while I'm trying to do math here. Oh, my math failing me right now. It's a gain of 33 for Logan Kroll, but we do have a Cloquet defender down. Logan Kroll with a big carry there of 33 yards gets it to the Lumberjack 36-yard line, but we do have a member of the Lumberjacks down. He is able to get up and walk off on his own. The injured Lumberjack is Matthew Erickson. He's able to get up and walk off on his own. Looks like more of a arm or shoulder injury. Hopefully he's okay. Never want to see anybody get injured. That's the last thing you want to see. So hopefully it's more of a stinger here on this chilly night, and he's able to work back into the game for Cloquet. But either way, the Vikings do have a new set of downs on the Lumberjack side of the field at the the 36-yard line. And the Vikings will go back, power T formation. Clock starts to run once again. Preston takes the snap. He's going to give it this time to Robillard. And he breaks free. No, Preston decided to keep it, and he is gone. I tell you what, these North Branch Vikings, they probably run the fake better than anybody out there, and Preston Peterson faked everybody. I think all 10, maybe 9, 10 players from Cloquet thought it was Robillard keeping it. Instead, it was Preston who took it, and he broke free on the left side of that line and jolted forward for a North Branch touchdown to make it 12-0 for the Vikings. So the Vikings have now taken a 12-0 lead, and they will look to go for the extra point. Again, Bovitz Gonna be the kicker. Last time I thought it was good. Apparently it wasn't. And then we're going to get a flag down. And I believe it's going to be offsides on Cloquet. That'll be the first flag of the night. And it looks like, yeah, North Branch will get their offense back out there to go for 2. So now North Branch, instead of going for the extra point, they look to be going for 2 here. That ball moves half the distance to the goal, so it'll sit at about the 1.5. They'll get to the line quickly. Preston Peterson, under center, power T formation. Peterson takes the snap. He's going to give it off to Kroll. He's into the end zone for the 2-point conversion, and that'll make it 14-0 in favor of the North Branch Vikings after Logan Kroll gets into the end zone untouched for the 2-point conversion, and the North Branch Vikings lead 14-0 here with 5:56 to go on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Embrace Orthodontics, your customized smile journey starts with a free consultation. The team at Embrace Orthodontics wants to make your journey as seamless and convenient as possible with custom braces or Invisalign. They will do all the heavy insurance lifting for you as well. And if you don't have insurance, ask about financing options. They'll find a plan to fit your budget at EmbraceMN.com. North Branch Vikings lead 14-0 over the Cloquet Lumberjacks here in the second quarter. 5:56 to go. We do have an injured Lumberjack on the field, and I can't see who it is. I'm not going to speculate. I'm not going to speculate as to the injury either. We just hope that he's okay and able to work back into this game. We'll take a commercial break. You're listening to football here on WCMP.
End of the season means savings at Minnesota Equipment. Save big on remaining zero turns in stock. Bravely, Aaron's, Toro, and John Deere. Buy now with 0% financing available. That's 0 on zero turns. Need a walk behind instead? I got plenty of those too. On site and ready to go. The knowledgeable staff will get you the machine that fits your property size. Minnesota Equipment. Your neighbors. Your experts. Your neighborly experts. Highway 65 in Isanti or at minnesotaequipment.com.
Most Americans do not have a proper will or estate plan in place. Many of you listening have been putting off that important task for a long time. Stop waiting and contact Spear & Swanson today. Spear & Swanson can help you put together a tight legal estate plan to make sure the assets you've been working so hard to obtain get passed on to your loved ones in the way that best fits you. Spear & Swanson, attorneys at law in Pine City. Call 320-629-7586. That's 320-629-7586.
North Branch Vikings hold a 14-0 lead here at home in this Section 7 4A championship game over the Cloquet Lumberjacks with 5:56 to go here in the first half. And the Viking defense so far, they're bending but not breaking, and that is a huge part to their 14-0 lead here in the first half. Cloquet found some momentum there on that last drive they had, but a turnover on the carry from Chartier led to a North Branch touchdown. And there's the boot, and it will be more of that long onside kick again from Bovitz. And, they can't get it to it in time. But I believe North Branch did get a hand on it, so it will just be out of bounds and start where it is because North Branch got a hand on it. I think they might discuss because he did get a hand on it. Okay, so that's where it will start because he did get a hand on it. So because the Viking player did get a hand on it, there will be no flag to push the ball to the 35. Instead, it will be at the 28-yard line. That's where the Cloquet Lumberjacks will start over. That was a great kick there from Bovitz. Put that one in a position where his team could get it. They just couldn't grab it in time. But they will put the Lumberjacks at the 28-yard line at their own 28. With 5:50 to go here in quarter number 2. Vikings do have that 14-0 lead. They have all 3 of their timeouts. Cloquet with 2. They had to take one earlier in that first quarter. They'll come to the line with that shotgun formation. 2 receivers at the top of the formation here for Sheldon. And he takes the snap. He's going to give it to Bonneville. Bonneville will try to cut it off the right side of the line, and he is taken down. Nowhere to go for Bonneville that time. And may have even... Yeah, he did get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain there for Colin Bonneville. He has 39 yards on 5 carries, does Colin Bonneville here this evening. Busted a 30-yard run on their last drive before they had turned it over on a fumble. So Sheldon will get the call into the huddle. And his receivers a bit confused where to go at first. Instead, they switched sides of the field, so now they'll work to the bottom of the formation. And Sheldon will be in the gun. He has his running back Bonneville next to him. And I believe they got a new man in there, and they'll give it to Bonneville. And no, instead, the quarterback, Sheldon, will keep it. And Sheldon goes nowhere on that one. So Sheldon on the keeper does not pick up anything. Sheldon gonna get back to the line of scrimmage, that's about it, but it's gonna be third down and long. Third down and 10 for the Cloquet Lumberjacks. We do have an injured Lumberjack down on the field. Cannot see who it is. He's way down the field. Cannot see who it is. We're not sure who the injured Lumberjack is, but while they take a look at him, we'll take a commercial break.
October is College Knowledge Month at Pine Technical and Community College. The whole month, PTCC will be providing a variety of events for high school students and the community to learn more about college options. College Knowledge Month is meant to provide future students with the preparation, opportunity, and support needed to apply to college. Join PTCC for a nursing program information session on October 26th at 2:30 p.m. Everyone is welcome. Learn more at pine.edu.
Choose the right divorce attorney. Spear and Swanson will make sure the judge knows your side of the story. Let them help you with your divorce, custody, child support, harassment, or orders for protection. They also handle DWIs and other legal matters. The right divorce attorney does make a difference. That's why you need to choose Spear and Swanson, attorneys at law in Pine City. Call 320-620-7586.
Kathy Carcetti at Remax Synergy is dedicated to helping all her clients find homes of their dreams. Buying or selling a home, or just curious about the local market? With over 32 years of helping people, Kathy can help guide you through the nuances of the local market with access to top listings and a worldwide network. Kathy Carcetti will work hard to make your real estate experience memorable and enjoyable. At this time, Kathy would like to say good luck to the North Branch Vikings.
Back here on WCMP, the injured Lumberjack that time was Lance Knitzko. He's able to get up and walk off under his own power to the Lumberjack sideline. Again, we never want to see anybody injured, so we hope that he's okay and able to work back into this game. Last thing we want to see is people get hurt out here. He's, again, able to walk off under his own power, so that's good news. But either way, it's going to be third down and long now for the Cloquet Lumberjacks as they bring their offense to the line. Shotgun formation, two receivers at the bottom of the screen here for Cloquet. Sheldon takes the snap. Gonna give it off to Bonneville off the right side of the line. He busts it out, and he fumbles! Ball is on the ground, and North Branch will get it. Bonneville could not hold on, and it will be Vikings ball once again inside the Cloquet 35-yard line. The ball is recovered at the 34 of the Lumberjacks with 4:43 to go here in the second quarter. Vikings with a great opportunity to extend their lead over the Lumberjacks in this Section 7 4A championship game. That's their second takeaway here. They did have one early on their first drive, did the Vikings, but so far their defense has made a good turnaround and stepped up and took the ball away twice, and now we're going to get a whistle. And the Lumberjacks will call their second timeout of this first half. They'll be left with one for the remainder of the first half. With 4:43 to go, the Lumberjacks call a timeout. Again, the North Branch Vikings do have a prime opportunity here to go down and extend their lead to either 20, 21, or 22 to nothing over the Cloquet Lumberjacks. It is Logan Kroll, who has one touchdown, and Preston Peterson has the other one for the North Branch Vikings. Those two getting on the board. Logan Kroll been their bell cow so far. He has 13 carries on the night for over 50 yards and probably even closer to 70 yards on the night, just doing some terrible math at the glance at the stat sheet. Again, these are not exact stats by any stretch of the imagination, so take these with a grain of salt. I do the best I can taking stats. But we do, for sure, have 4:43 left to go with the North Branch Vikings leading 14-0 over the Cloquet Lumberjacks. A 3-4 matchup between these two teams. A little bit of an odd matchup, too. You got Grand Rapids, who was definitely the favorite to come out of this section and go to state. I think they were even a favorite to make a push at state. And they were beaten by Cloquet 42-15 in the semifinals, and North Branch was able to defeat Hermantown 28-0. So a 3-4 matchup here in the championship game. Peterson will get out of the timeout, give it up off the middle to Logan Kroll, and he's standing up and still not down. He's still pushing the pile, and the whistle, geez, it has not been blown. Probably could have been blown there, but they chose to let that play go. He'll get it to the 29-yard line. It'll be pickup of about 6. So a 6-yard gain there for Logan Kroll. It'll be 2nd down and 4 now for the North Branch Vikings. That clock continuing to run with 4:10 left on the second quarter. Peterson lines up, power T formation. He takes a snap. He's going to give it off one way, then fake it one way, and then give it off the other. He gets it there to Vincent Beck off the left side of the line, and then Beck got hit late. He was taken down late, but they're not going to throw the flag there. They're going to let him play, but probably just give him a warning. Hey, got to stop after the whistle. But the ball is going to now sit at the 23.5-yard line. Decent gain there from Vincent Beck. About 5. So 1st down and 10 now for the North Branch Vikings inside the Cloquet 25. Ball spotted right in between the 22 and 23, so 22.5-yard line. Preston Peterson will take his team to the line of scrimmage. Power T formation takes the snap. He'll give it up the middle. No, instead he'll keep it once again. He's got a lane, and he is gone! That lane opened up, and he was quite patient, but we got a flag behind the play, and this one probably will be coming back. So Preston Peterson, beautiful job being patient, but with that flag coming from where it did, I have a feeling this one's coming back. A great fake by Sam Robillard up the middle. Preston Pearson just did a good job of waiting for him to get in front and waiting for that lane to open up, and busted through and ran it in for a touchdown for the moment. But there's a flag down, and more than likely this one will come back, and it will. It's going to be a holding call on the North Branch Vikings, and that'll be their first penalty of the evening. This one will be a pretty big one, but because he did get into the end zone, it might actually be not quite as bad. And yeah, they'll only put it back to the 25. Oh, yes, the 25. Thought they were going to move it more, but only back to the 25. So instead of 1st and 10 or a touchdown, it'll be 1st down and 12. So 1st and 12 now for North Branch after that touchdown run from Preston Peterson. Is called back off the holding penalty from North Branch. So they'll do it again. Preston Peterson will take the snap. He'll give it off on the right side of the line to Logan Kroll. Kroll fumbled it, and that ball is still loose, but somehow the North Branch Vikings able to jump on top of it. Sam Robillard is going to get to it. Funny enough, they're going to pick up a couple yards off the fumble. Logan Kroll to the outside. That's his 2nd fumble of the evening from Logan Kroll. And they do, on the fumble, they do pick up 2 yards. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 now. Logan Kroll, that's his 2nd fumble of the evening. His first one was inside the 5. This one, luckily, Vikings pounce back on top of it, and they have it. 2nd down and 10 on the right hash. Moving left to right on your radio dial. Preston Peterson will take the snap from under center, the power T formation. He's going to take the snap, and he'll keep it himself, trying to look for a lane to run through. This time that lane closes pretty quickly as he gets it to about the 20. And that'll be a pickup of about 2-3 yards for Preston Peterson. And that'll make it 3rd down and 7. Vikings haven't been in too many 3rd down and longs here this evening. In fact, this might only be their 2nd or 3rd one. So this is an important one too. With under 2 minutes to go, they lead 14-0. And let's see what they decide to do here as the play clock continues to run under 15 seconds, and that game clock says 1:40 left in the second quarter. Preston Peterson, power T formation. He's under center, takes the snap. He's going to fake it, and now he's going to pass. Steps up in the pocket. He's got a man deep, and this one is picked off. That's Bonneville, I believe, who picks it off. And I don't know where he was thrown because he did not have a man even close to open. And Bonneville going to get the interception and take it back for the Cloquet Lumberjacks to the 15-yard line. And not a great pass there from Preston Peterson. Forced that one as he felt the pressure coming from the Lumberjacks. He forced that one into some coverage there. And that'll be an interception for the Lumberjacks. And maybe that's the boost that they need as they trail 14-0, 1:20 to go here in the second quarter. Vikings do lead 14-0, but now the Lumberjacks have it back. So 1:20 to go. Two receivers at the bottom of formation here for Sheldon. He takes the snap, gives it off to Bonneville off the right side of the line. He's trying to cut it outside. Instead, he finds the cutback lane. He cuts it back, and he's trying to plow forward past the 15. He won't get much. He'll get about the 17-yard line. That's about it. So a 2-yard gain there for Bonneville. Not much doing, and a lot of time came off the clock. About 20 seconds have come off the clock there on that play. Now under a minute to go here in the first half with the Vikings leading 14-0. Vikings lead 14-0 on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Embrace Orthodontics has Embrace their Invisalign with 3 locations, Pine City, Lynchburg, and Cambridge. They'll get to line. 3 receivers at the top of the formation here, and they'll line up now in more of a wildcat. With Bonneville taking the snap, and he's going to give it off. It's going to be a fake reverse. Instead, they got a man at Chartier for a first down, and he's going to cut it back up the middle. Oh, my goodness, he should have went out of bounds. Instead, he stays in bounds, and that'll get to the 37-yard line, a gain of 20 there for Chartier. But he stayed in bounds, and that is important because now Cloquet is going to probably have to think about, they're going to have to use their last time out. So Chartier made kind of a mistake there, cutting it back inside to stay in bounds when he would have only been, I think, 2 yards from where he's at if he had went out of bounds. So that's going to be their last time out of this first half with 32 seconds left, and they still got 63 yards to go before they get to the end zone. Don't know if they have a kicker or not, and so I don't know if they have an opportunity at a field goal. But 63 yards to go in 32 seconds. Not impossible, as we know. Bonneville has broken off at 30 yards, so that will get half of what you need, and then maybe give it to them again to get all of what you need. But we'll have to wait and see. 32 seconds left. Lumberjacks called their last time out here of the first half. Vikings do lead 14-0 in the Section 7 4A championship game here at North Branch. Vikings nearly coughed it up on that last drive on a Logan Kroll fumble, but instead it was Preston Peterson who threw a pick in the end zone, and Bonneville was the recipient of that interception. He just kind of waited under it like a punt almost. Not a great throw or decision. It was a decent throw, but Peterson not the greatest of decisions. They're going to fake the throw to Bonneville, and now Sheldon has got nowhere to throw it, and he just throws it at the ground at around the 40. Incomplete. That'll save some time. 24 seconds left on the clock. 8 seconds come off the clock. Second down and 10 now for the Lumberjacks as, again, Maurice Sheldon was pressured heavily by that Vikings team who did not bite on the fake bubble route to Bonneville, and he had really nowhere to go with it as the defenders were closing in on him. Instead, he rolled out right and just tried to get that one incomplete, which he did. Smart play there by Sheldon. One receiver at the top of the screen, 2 at the bottom. And Sheldon lines up. He's got a man over the middle, and it's incomplete. Goes through the hands of the receiver. That time, that was Hitala. And it is going to be incomplete with 19 seconds to go, and it's 3rd down and 10 now for the Cloquet Lumberjacks. Is that a flag down at the 34-yard line? I think it is. I think we've got a flag down at the 34-yard line, it looks like. And this will be huge. Depending on who this is against, this will make a big difference. They're going to get the refs together to talk about it. 19 seconds left on the clock as the referees come together to discuss this flag down at the 34-yard line. So I didn't see anything. I was looking downfield at the pass. I mean, where it's at, it can't be a illegal man downfield because that's not even close. That's behind the line of scrimmage. It's going to be on the offensive holding call. So that'll be their second penalty here in this first half. Pretty clean half to start the game between these two teams, but now that'll march them back 10 yards. And with 19 seconds left, I don't know there's many 81-yard plays in the book with 19 seconds left for Cloquet, but we'll see. Maybe you can get Bonneville to break one and step out before being tackled and then save some time. But it's going to be third and a mile. Reese will line up in the shotgun formation. He takes the snap. He's going to roll out to the left, trying to cut it back, and he's got nowhere to go. Johnstone with the tackle back at the 15-yard line, and that will probably run out the rest of the clock here in this first half, and it will. So a big loss to about maybe not too much of a loss, to the 16. A loss of 4 for Sheldon. And the North Branch Vikings will go into this halftime period. They lead 14-0 over the visiting Cloquet Lumberjacks here in the Section 7 4A championship game. We'll take commercial break. We'll hear a word from our fine sponsors, and when we come back, I'll recap the first half, let you know my keys to the game for North Branch to get them the victory and get to state. Of course, you're listening to Section 7 4A football championship here on 106.5 FM, AM 1350 WCMP.
Hey, I'm Chad Greenway. When I was playing, I loved chasing down running backs. But you shouldn't have to chase your bank around when you're buying a home. Franzen Bank and Trust Mortgage Consultants will be with you stride for stride, like a linebacker on a running back, from pre-approval to closing and beyond. Let Franzen Bank guide you through the mortgage process. Learn more at franzenbank.com/get-there. Franzen Bank and Trust. Real people, real results. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
No appointment? No problem. Injuries and feeling ill don't always happen during normal business hours. That's why Wellia Health has urgency services open 7 days a week. Urgency Services in Pine City offers the care you need when you need it. Hours are now 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 days a week. No need to call or make an appointment. Just stop in. When tomorrow isn't soon enough and normal business hours just won't do, you can count on Wellia Health to be there for you. Live life well at Wellia Health.
It's almost time to start pushing snow. Sorry, just the messenger. Thankfully, Minnesota Equipment in Isanti has affordable machines to do the heavy lifting. Any size property. Toro and Aaron's walk behind snow blowers. Oh, you got land, huh? How about John Deere lawn and garden tractors? Or a compact utility tractor? Minnesota Equipment has them in stock. Snow removal doesn't have to be backbreaking. Not if you get into Minnesota Equipment, Highway 65 in Isanti. Or visit minnesotaequipment.com. End of the season means savings at Minnesota Equipment. Save big on remaining zero turns in stock. Gravely, Aaron's, Toro, and John Deere. Buy now with 0% financing available. That's 0 on zero turns. Need a walk behind instead? I got plenty of those too. On site and ready to go. The knowledgeable staff will get you the machine that fits your property size. Minnesota Equipment. Your neighbors. Your experts. Your neighborly experts. Highway 65 in Isanti or at minnesotaequipment.com.
Most Americans do not have a proper will or estate plan in place. Many of you listening have been putting off that important task for a long time. Stop waiting and contact Spear & Swanson today. Spear & Swanson can help you put together a tight legal estate plan to make sure the assets you've been working so hard to obtain get passed on to your loved ones in the way that best fits you. Spear & Swanson, attorneys at law in Pine City. Call 320-629-7586. That's 320-629-7586.
October is College Knowledge Month at Pine Technical and Community College. The whole month, PTCC will be providing a variety of events for high school students and the community to learn more about college options. College Knowledge Month is meant to provide future students with the preparation, opportunity, and support needed to apply to college. Join PTCC for a nursing program information session on October 26th at 2:30 p.m. Everyone is welcome. Learn more at pine.edu.
Back here on 106.5 FM, AM 1350 WCMP, the home for tonight's Section 7 4A championship game, where the North Branch Vikings lead at home 14-0 over the Cloquet Lumberjacks in that first half of play. 2 takeaways and turnovers by each team. 1 an interception from North Branch to Cloquet. Other than that, it was all fumbles, and that ball might be a little bit slick, as there might have been a little bit of moisture on the field just because from the temperature change here this evening. So that ball might be just a tad bit slick, so it might be a little bit tough to hold on to, but each team does have 2 turnovers, but 2 penalties there for Cloquet and 1 for North Branch. Pretty clean first half, penalty-wise. It's been a pretty clean first half. So, and it's a pretty close one too. As it is 14-0, but man, Cloquet, you got to feel like you're right in it because you've had a couple of drives for Cloquet where they have been so close, but just a turnover has really done the damage here on both sides. As we look at it, Logan Kroll leads the North Branch Vikings, 14 carries, 107 yards, and then it's Preston Peterson with 4 carries for 56 yards, 3 carries, 29 yards for Vincent Beck, and 3 for 6 yards for Sam Robillard. He's been the guy punching it up the middle. A touchdown for Preston and a touchdown for Kroll. That is how we get the score 14-0. On the other side, Colin Bonneville, of course, leads their team, 6 carries, 41 yards. And then it is Reese Sheldon, 4 carries, 11 yards, 3 carries, 8 yards for Alex Omengi. And then Blair Chartier lost 7 yards on his carry. They do also have an interception, as I mentioned. Bonneville got the interception there for Cloquet. And got the ball back for Cloquet with not a lot of time left. I believe it was about 1:20 left. And unfortunately, they had a big holding call that sent him back, and there was really not much they could do after that. But passing the ball here, 2 for 21. He was 2 for 5. 21 yards was Reese Sheldon for the Cloquet Lumberjacks. All 21 yards went to Chartier. On the other side, for Preston Peterson, he has thrown it once, and it was an interception. He was looking for his man, but I don't know if it just left his hand funny or if he was just trying to throw it up and didn't get enough power underneath it, but that ball did not get anywhere near any of his players, so wound up being intercepted. And so far in this first half, again, it looks heavily favored to the North Branch Vikings just because their offense has just been able to methodically move the ball down the field. They haven't really hit any lumps except for the turnovers. And if you take away the turnovers, this might be a 21-0 lead. But also for the Lumberjacks, if you take away the turnovers, it might be a 21-14 game. So if you take away the turnovers, this game is really turned around. And it looks quite different, in my opinion, if you eliminate the turnovers. But that's part of the game. Turnovers are part of the game, and you have to do your job to hold on to the football. Both sides have fumbled it. We have 3 total fumbles, or 4 actually, 2 from Cloquet and 2 from North Branch, but North Branch was able to jump back on top of one of theirs. Logan Kroll has fumbled the 2 times for the North Branch Vikings. One of them was recovered, but the other one was taken by the Cloquet Lumberjacks. Luckily, I think for North Branch, they were able to get that fumble inside the 5-yard line, so Cloquet really had no chance to really move the ball too much down the field before they had to punt it, but I think this 14-0 score could be, again, super favoring into North Branch or not, because, again, if you eliminate the turnovers, this game is a lot closer than what it is. The 1 turnover came on a promising Cloquet drive, and it looked like they were bound to get into the end zone, but they were unfortunately unable to because of the fumble from Bonneville. Bonneville, rarely makes mistakes, and he made one here tonight, and I thought, we didn't see a lot, and I thought that was going to be it. Turnovers might be a huge thing, but so far it's favoring North Branch, even though the turnover battle is even at 2 turnovers apiece. So that might play a factor as we move forward, seeing who can hold on to the ball a little bit more, because that ball it seems like every drive, at least once, it seems to be squirting out of the arms of the ball carriers, but we'll have to wait and see here in the second half. Well, again, we're at halftime here at the Section 7 4A Championship in North Branch. Over on 100.9 FM, the Ogilvie Lions wrapping up their game against Southridge in that Section 5 9-man championship game. And over on 95.5 FM, Malacca taking on Foley in that Section 5 3A matchup. That should be a fun one as well. I'll give you updates on those as soon as I can get them for myself. If I can find my phone. Apparently I lost it. But right now, the North Branch Vikings lead the Cloquet Lumberjacks 14-0. And for me, I think if you're North Branch, I think you just need to continue with your offense. You just got to keep playing your offense, keep marching it down the field methodically, and just because you threw the one interception does not mean the pass game won't work. I don't think you necessarily need to throw the ball anymore in this game, but if you want to, don't shy away from it just because you threw the interception. You don't necessarily need to. I think if you just continue to run your offense methodically and march up and down the field, I think you'll be okay. You'll take enough time off the clock to where Cloquet won't have too much time to run things on offense like they would hope. So I think if you're North Branch, you just got to do that. Defensively, though, Bonneville, he's stretched it out a couple times, and so far, these cornerbacks and outside linebackers have done a good job to hold him in and not allow him to get north and south, and I think that's been huge for them tonight because we know Bonneville loves to cut it back, make that one cut, and move up the field and be gone, and he showed it. He had a big 30-yard carry in the first half, but just unable to really find much space other than that to run with. And give credit to North Branch defensive line. They're getting in the backfield in a hurry, and then the cornerbacks really doing a good job on the edge of getting, not only are they getting off a block, but they're making sure that if they're not getting off the block, they're at least getting an arm out to make sure that the running back sees that and says, okay, well, I'm not going to be able to go outside, and I kind of got to cut it back in. And North Branch has done a good job of getting guys in the cutback lane to prevent Cloquet from getting, again, north and south and moving this ball up and down the field. They had the one promising drive. That's pretty much been it. Of course, North Branch has kind of led time of possession here in the first half. And when you can control time of possession and also lead by 2 scores, that leads heavily into your favor going into the second half. And now North Branch will get the ball to start the second half as well. So if you're Cloquet, things not going your way right now, but it's a championship game and things can turn in a hurry. We talked about that in the pregame, as well as, all you need is one big run, one big flag, one big pass play. Doesn't matter how you get it, because that can really turn the tide in a game like this. With that, Vikings only have a 14-0 lead. One score makes it a one-score game if you're Cloquet. So this one is not even close to over, and I think as much as we say it's favoring North Branch, I don't know, there have been a couple times where it looks like Cloquet's going to break something. So if you're North Branch, you got to have that in the back of your mind that, hey, this game is not over yet. We got to continue to put our nose to the grindstone and try and finish this one out for Cloquet. Again, I think you just need to continue to run your offense. You're going to break one sooner than later. Bonneville's going to find some room to run, but I think you might want to look into that pass game just a little bit more. I know the O-line didn't block the way you would hoped, but I think if you continue to go with the pass, you're going to find something that opens up. And again, if you start to chuck it deep, the worst thing that's going to come is or the best thing, I guess you could say, is a pass interference call, which would move the ball down 15 yards anyway. So for Cloquet, I think you got to open up the playbook just a little bit more. I know a lot of times you might want to shrink it in this type of game when you're trailing 14-0 and the last couple of drives your offense hasn't been able to do much. But I think in this situation you want to continue to open up the playbook and just give North Branch something they haven't seen your offense do lately. And I think that's what you want to do if you're Cloquet. On defense, you're just going to have to make sure you're watching who has the ball. And I know that's hard to say. It's easier said than done. But Preston Peterson has chunked you. He has gotten big chunk plays on you, a 36-yard rushing touchdown, and he had a touchdown taken back, I believe, from 32 yards out on a holding call, but again, it was on a fake that he faked it one way up the middle and then took off with it off the outside, and he's a very patient runner, so he is not afraid to sit and wait and try and let a hole develop. So if you're Cloquet, got to make sure you're watching where Peterson is at all times to make sure he doesn't have the ball, because if he does, man, he's shifty and he will get up and down the field quickly. So again, it's a 14-0 lead here for Cloquet, or for North Branch at the half over Cloquet in the Section 7 4A championship game. In the Malacca Foley championship game, Malacca is up 21-8 over Foley at halftime. So Malacca is up 21-8, and that's only a two-score game there for Foley. Foley upset Mora just last week on Saturday, when a lot of people, I think, were saying that North Branch was kind of an underdog favorite to go to state, even in favor of Malacca, but Foley pulled off an upset last Saturday to get to this championship game, and it's not lopsided like I think a lot of people thought it would be. They're within 2 scores, so it is right within their grasp. Don't have an update from that Ogilvie game yet, but once I do, I will let you know. So we'll take another commercial break here. We're from our fine sponsors, and when we come back, we should be ready for the second half of action here at North Branch between the North Branch Vikings and the Cloquet Lumberjacks in the Section 7 4A championship game. You're listening to Football on WCMP.
Choose the right divorce attorney. Spear and Swanson will make sure the judge knows your side of the story. Let them help you with your divorce, custody, child support, harassment, or orders for protection. They also handle DWIs and other legal matters. The right divorce attorney does make a difference. That's why you need to choose Spear and Swanson, attorneys at law in Pine City. Call 320-620-7586.
Kathy Carcetti at Remax Synergy is dedicated to helping all her clients find homes of their dreams. Buying or selling a home, or just curious about the local market? With over 32 years of helping people, Kathy can help guide you through the nuances of the local market with access to top listings and a worldwide network. Kathy Carcetti will work hard to make your real estate experience memorable and enjoyable. At this time, Kathy would like to say good luck to the North Branch Vikings.
Hey, I'm Chad Greenway. When I was playing, I loved chasing down running backs. Well, you shouldn't have to chase your bank around when you're buying a home. Franzen Bank and Trust Mortgage Consultants will be with you stride for stride, like a linebacker on a running back, from pre-approval to closing and beyond. Let Franzen Bank guide you through the mortgage process. Learn more at franzenbank.com/get there. Franzen Bank and Trust. Real people, real results. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
No appointment? No problem. Injuries and feeling ill don't always happen during normal business hours. That's why Wellia Health has urgency services open 7 days a week. Urgency Services in Pine City offers the care you need when you need it. Hours are now 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 days a week. No need to call or make an appointment. Just stop in. When tomorrow isn't soon enough and normal business hours just won't do, you can count on Wellia Health to be there for you. Live life well at Wellia Health.
It's almost time to start pushing snow. Sorry, just the messenger. Thankfully, Minnesota Equipment in Isanti has affordable machines to do the heavy lifting. Any size property. Toro and Aaron's walk behind snow blowers. Oh, you got land, huh? How about John Deere lawn and garden tractors? Or a compact utility tractor? Minnesota Equipment has them in stock. Snow removal doesn't have to be backbreaking. Not if you get into Minnesota Equipment, Highway 65 in Isanti. Or visit minnesotaequipment.com. End of the season means savings at Minnesota Equipment. Save big on remaining zero turns in stock. Bravely, Aaron's, Toro, and John Deere. Buy now with 0% financing available. That's zero on zero turns. Need a walk behind instead? They got plenty of those too. On site and ready to go. The knowledgeable staff will get you the machine that fits your property size. Minnesota Equipment. Your neighbors. Your experts. Your neighborly experts. Highway 65 in Isanti or at minnesotaequipment.com.
Most Americans do not have a proper will or estate plan in place. Many of you listening have been putting off that important task for a long time. Stop waiting and contact Spear and Swanson today. Spear and Swanson can help you put together a tight legal estate plan to make sure the assets you've been working so hard to obtain get passed on to your loved ones in the way that best fits you. Spear and Swanson, attorneys at law in Pine City. Call 320-629-7586. That's 320-629-7586.
October is College Knowledge Month at Pine Technical and Community College. The whole month, PTCC will be providing a variety of events for high school students and the community to learn more about college options. College Knowledge Month is meant to provide future students with the preparation, opportunity, and support needed to apply to college. Join PTCC for a nursing program information session on October 26th at 2:30 p.m. Everyone is welcome. Learn more at pine.edu.
Choose the right divorce attorney. Spear and
A home, or just curious about the local market? With over 32 years of helping people, Kathy can help guide you through the nuances of the local market with access to top listings and a worldwide network. Kathy Carcetti will work hard to make your real estate experience memorable and enjoyable. At this time, Kathy would like to say good luck to the North Branch Vikings.
106.5 FM, AM 1350, WCMP. We are just about set for kickoff here in the second half, where the North Branch Vikings lead over the Cloquet Lumberjacks in this Section 7 4A championship game, 14-0. The North Branch Vikings will receive the second half kickoff. And both teams getting their final words of encouragement and strategy as they try and head back out onto the field. Again, North Branch leads 14-0 as we head into this third quarter of play. Ogilvie, by the way, in their Section 5 9-man championship game, wins 50-8, and they are off to the state tournament once again. So we have one local team. We'll have another one between Malacca and Foley, and hopefully North Branch. So we could have 3 local teams headed to state in football, but we've got another whole half of play here and in St. Cloud between Malacca and Foley before we can say for sure. Well, we are getting set for kickoff now as Cloquet will kick it away to begin this second half of play. There's the boot, and it will be bounced at the 20. Trying to pick it up, but he's struggling. Back at the 15, makes a move, and he's falling forward. And, the ball came out. Ball came out at the end there. And North Branch will hold on to it. Wow, nearly disaster there for the North Branch Vikings to begin the second half. On the return that time was Michael Tao. He holds on to it, get it to keep it, but man, scary spot there for the North Branch Vikings. Either way, they do have the ball to begin this second half of play. In the third quarter, they'll start at their own. Nose ball sits on the 20, 11:52 to go. In the third quarter, 8 seconds off on that kickoff, and Preston will line up under the center. Power T formation, and he gives it off up the middle, breaking tackles, getting to about the 30 that time is the ball carrier, and the ball carrier that time was Beck. Vincent Beck gets it to the 30, and it'll be a first down for the North Branch Vikings. A gain of about 10 on that carry, but it is enough for a first down. First down and 10 at the 30 now for the North Branch Vikings. Excuse me, as the night has gone along, it's getting a little bit more chilly out here. People starting to bundle up, get their jackets on, get their blankies out. As Peterson lines up under center, he's going to give it off to Beck again, it looks like, and he gets to about the 30, pushes forward to about the 36-yard line off the left side of the line. And he'll pick up about 5 yards as that ball will be spotted at the 35. So Vincent Beck with a 5-yard gain. That'll make it second down and 5 at the 35-yard line on North Branch side of the field. As Preston Peterson will get the call and head back out to the huddle. They're in the huddle and out quickly. They know how to get in and out of that huddle pretty darn quickly, do the Vikings. He'll take the snap, and looks like again to Beck off the left side of the line. And Beck will plow forward to the 44-yard line. And he will have about 8 yards and a first down for the Vikings. So another first down here for North Branch at the 44-yard line from Vincent Beck. And again, what the Vikings did so well in that first half is just kind of march the ball downfield methodically. And if they get a chunk gain, then they get a chunk gain, but they just took a ton of time off the clock on their drives and definitely led time of possession there in that first half. They give this time off the left side again, and not a lot to speak of that time. Going to get it to about the 47-yard line for Logan Kroll. And he'll pick up about 3, second down and 7 now for the North Branch Vikings as they creep in to near the 50, near midfield. And seems like nearly every drive tonight for North Branch has gotten on the other side of the 50, if not started on the other side of the 50. Preston Peterson will get his men to the line at the 47. Peterson will take the snap, and he'll give it off on the right side and trying to push through. And on the carry that time was Logan Kroll. He'll get it to about the 47 on the other side of the 50 in Cloquet territory. It's a gain of 6 for Logan Kroll. Here for North Branch on the carry from Vincent Beck. He's gotten a couple carries so far on this drive and done pretty well with them. Vincent Beck with the ball carrier. That last play would give North Branch another new set of downs, and they'll spot it at the 33.5-yard line. Or 43.5, I apologize. In between the 44 and 43. Now Preston Peterson will line up under center. Takes the snap. He's going to give it off this time. Off the right side of the line to Logan Kroll. Takes the snap. He's going to give it off this time. Off the right side of the line to Logan Kroll, and he'll be whipped down. He got taken down by his arm. Defender did a good job there to take him down, and he'll be spotted at about the 37-yard line. Gain of 7 for Logan Kroll. He is getting the job done tonight. Over 100 yards in the first half alone. Again, those are just my stats that I try and take, so don't take them with a little grain of salt. They're not 100% exact. Do the best I can, though. Preston Peterson will get the call, bring it back into the huddle, and they'll have second down and about 4 to go. In Cloquet territory, Peterson under center. Takes the snap. He's going to give it off to Kroll again off the right sideline. He finds a lane, breaks off of one tackle, plows forward, and he's taken down at around the 29-yard line. It's a gain of 8 and a first down for North Branch. 8 yards and a first down for North Branch. They're now inside the 30 of the Lumberjacks with 7:10 to go here in the third quarter. On that Embrace Orthodontic scoreboard, Dr. Seavers committed to providing a world-class orthodontic care in a friendly and comfortable atmosphere. Start today at EmbraceMN.com. They'll also help you find a smile you'll embrace forever. EmbraceMN.com. 6:55 to go here in the third quarter. North Branch at the 29 of Cloquet. Peterson will take the snap. He'll get it off the left side to Beck. Beck trying to find some sort of lane to run through, and he gets swallowed up pretty quickly. He's going to get it down to about the 20, maybe the 26-yard line is where they'll spot him. It's a pickup of 3 for Vincent Beck, who's seeing a good chunk of carries here on this drive for North Branch. That'll make it second down and 7, though, at the 26 of the Cloquet Lumberjacks. With under 6.5 to go here in the third quarter. And again, North Branch just taking their time marching down the field. Preston Peterson under center. Going to give it off to Robillard. Robillard makes it. No, instead Peterson keeps it himself. He cuts it up at the 25. Falls forward to about the 19. That'll be a gain of 7. And depending on the spot, it'll be enough for a first. It will be enough for a first. Preston Peterson, another first down carry for him and another great fake. I thought Robillard had it. He made a cut at the line like he had it, but then Peterson came out on the right side, kind of bootleg action almost, and cut it up at the 25 and got taken down inside the 20 to the 19. It'll be first down and 10 for North Branch inside the red zone with 5:45 to go in the third quarter. Peterson under center, power T formation. He's going to give this one up to Robillard this time, and Robillard really has not much to go through, and in fact nothing. He did not gain a yard on that one. So that'll bring up second down and 10, and now we've got a whistle as a North Branch Viking is down. And while they take a look at him, we'll take a commercial break. You're listening to football here on WCMP.
Hey, I'm Chad Greenway. When I was playing, I loved chasing down running backs. But you shouldn't have to chase your bank around when you're buying a home. Franz and Bank and Trust Mortgage Consultants will be with you stride for stride, like a linebacker on a running back, from pre-approval to closing and beyond. Let Franz and Bank guide you through the mortgage process. Learn more at franzandbank.com/getThere. Franz and Bank and Trust. Real people, real results. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Joey Donahue, the injured North Branch Viking, he's able to get up and walk off under his own power again. In the 2, oh no, 1, they're only going to give him a yard to the 18, so a yard gain there for Logan Kroll, and that'll make it third down and long for the North Branch Vikings in the red zone now, trying to add on to their lead, and they have taken up much of this third quarter. They'd like to take even more off the clock. Under 4:40 to go, creeping up on 4:30. 4.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. North Branch with the ball, third down and 9. Preston Peterson under center takes the snap. He's going to fake it one way, and it looks like he's going to keep it. And this time the defense has a good read on him, and he is taken down. He does pick up a couple, but not even close to enough. And it'll bring up fourth down. He gets it to about the 16-yard line, a gain of 2 there for Preston Peterson, and that'll bring out fourth down. And let's see what the North Branch Vikings decide to do here as we creep up on 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Again, North Branch has had the ball for this entire quarter so far as we now creep under 4 minutes to go. Almost 8 minutes of possession here for the North Branch Vikings. Looks like Peterson will come to the sideline and they will wait and they will call a timeout and take a little bit more off the clock, and they'll take a timeout and then decide what they want to do. So again, they took some more time off the clock with that there, and instead of just calling the timeout right away or getting your kick unit out or going for it, you take more time off the clock that way. And when you're leading, you don't need the timeouts as much, but maybe it will come back to haunt them. You never know, but that'll be their first here used of the second half. They'll have 2 remaining. Again, they have had the ball for now over 8 minutes on offense in this third quarter. We had 8 seconds taken off on the kick return, and other than that, it has been all North Branch offense. Over 8 minutes of possession time here in this third quarter. So again, just kind of playing the keep-away game right now from Cloquet, trying to get out of here with the victory. They lead 14-0 over the Cloquet Lumberjacks in the Section 7 4A championship game. And the winner, again, will punch their ticket to the state tournament. North Branch was so close last year, but fell to the Grand Rapids Thunderhawks this year. They have a game at home. So it looks like they will go for it here on 4th down and 7 for the North Branch Vikings. They will go for it. Ball spotted at the 16. They'll have to get to the 11 for a first down. Peterson will line up under center. Power T formation. Peterson takes the snap. He fakes the give to Logan Kroll. No, it is Kroll. Kroll pass it back to Peterson in the end zone. Touchdown! It was a give to Kroll off the right side. Then he stopped, looked back, found his quarterback in the end zone for a touchdown. And Logan Kroll with a passing touchdown of his own here. And that will make it a 20-0 lead. So Logan Kroll from 16 yards out finds his quarterback, Peterson, for a touchdown from 16 yards out to make it 20-0, and they will go for the extra point. Will the Vikings? 20-0. Snap, spot down, kick is up, and this is good. Kick is good, and it makes it 21-0 in favor of the North Branch Vikings on a trick play on 4th down and long. Instead of running the ball, they give it off to Logan Kroll. It will look to be just another run play for Logan Kroll. Instead, he steps back, chucks it over to the left side of the field, and finds his quarterback, Preston Peterson, for a receiving touchdown to make it 21-0 in favor of the North Branch Vikings on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Embrace Orthodontics, your customized smile journey starts with a free consultation. The team at Embrace Orthodontics wants to make your journey as seamless and convenient as possible with more braces. With custom braces or Invisalign, they will also do all the insurance heavy lifting for you. And if you don't have insurance, ask about financing options. They'll find a plan to fit your budget at EmbraceMN.com. North Branch with a 21-0 lead after a 4th down and 9 conversion on a trick play. Instead of running it with Peterson or Kroll, which it looked like they were doing, Kroll got the handoff, took it to the right side of the line, stepped back, went into a throwing motion, and found his quarterback, Preston Peterson, wide open on the far side of the field for a touchdown from 16 yards out with 3:33 to go. The North Branch Vikings possessed the ball in that third quarter for over 8 minutes on that drive alone. So the third quarter isn't over yet. They could hold the ball onto the ball a little bit longer, but just with that one drive, they took off over close to 9 minutes, almost 8.5, and they held the ball for over 8 minutes as well. They lead 21-0 here in the third quarter, and Bobitz will line up to kick this one away. There's the boot. It's going to be, again, a little bit of a longer form onside kick, and Bonneville going to take it in off a one hop and then slide down at the 42-yard line. And that's where the Lumberjacks offense will operate from the 41-yard line on their own side of the field. But it is good field position. Again, good starting field position for the Lumberjacks with 3:31 to go here in the third quarter. But they trail 21-0 after the North Branch Vikings go downfield and take 8 minutes on their first drive of the second half. Now there's only 3:31 to go in the third quarter. The Lumberjacks will come out. Two receivers at the bottom of the formation. Sheldon in the shotgun. He takes a snap. He's going to run to his right side. He's looking for a lane to run through, going off the right side. Follows his blocker, stiff arms a man. He breaks off of one tackle, and he's still on his feet, breaking off another to the 40, to the 35, and that's where he's shoved out of bounds. It's a huge gain there for Sheldon. Reese Sheldon with a good carry. A gain of 24 for Reese Sheldon. And, man, if I was Cloquet, I would almost think about going hurry up here off of a big gain. Just catch North Branch off guard. They do a little bit. They go with a little bit of a hurry-up huddle. They'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Two receivers, bottom formation. Sheldon in the gun. Sheldon takes a snap. He's going to fake to give to Bonneville. It's going to be a throw out here to the left side there to Painovich. Painovich is pushed out of bounds. He's going to go nowhere with that catch. And on the stop that time was number 25. That is Nolan Volner with the stop. No gain on that pass play from Sheldon to Painovich. Really good job. It looked like they had something going for them on that pass play from Sheldon to Painovich. It looked like they had a little bit of space to run, but give credit to Volner there on that one, who closed in on him in a hurry. Looked like he might have an opportunity to turn that thing upfield and bust it out for a couple yards, but no, Volner, he closed in quickly like a cheetah hunting for its prey. He'll hand it off this time to Bonneville, and he's taken down in the backfield. Tries to dive forward to prevent a loss, and I think he did. I think Bonneville, wow, that is a heads-up play by Bonneville by diving forward so as not to go down for a loss. No gain there. He got it back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd down and 10 now for the Cloquet Lumberjacks from the 35-yard line of the North Branch Vikings. 2:05 to go here in the third quarter. Vikings lead 21-0 over the Lumberjacks in the Section 7 4A championship game. Lumberjacks line up in the gun. Two receivers, bottom of the formation. Sheldon takes the snap. He's going to give it to Bonneville off the right sideline. He finds that cutback lane up the field, and he breaks off a couple tackles. He gets to around the 24-yard line, and that should be enough for a first down for Cloquet. An 11-yard gain there for Colin Bonneville, and that'll be enough to move the chains. A first down for Cloquet at the 24-yard line of North Branch. 1:45 to go here in the third quarter. Cloquet will get back to the line of scrimmage, which is at the 24 now after picking up the first down. Shotgun, two receivers bottom. Send a man in motion right to left. That's Chartier. He takes the snap. He's going to roll to the right. Will the quarterback Sheldon. Sheldon, he's going to be swarmed upon, and he'll pick up a couple of yards after being hit back and forth. And he'll pick up about 2. That'll make it 2nd down and 8. After that 2-yard carry from Sheldon. Reese Sheldon with the 2-yard carry. That'll make it 2nd down and 8 with now under a minute to go here in the third quarter. Vikings lead 21-0 over the Lumberjacks. Shotgun formation, two receivers at the bottom for Sheldon. Sheldon sends a man in motion right to left. He fakes the give to Chartier. Instead, he takes up the middle himself. He gets to the 20, but that is about it. Sheldon will pick up another 2, 3, 4 yards maybe. We'll make it about 3rd and 5 now. So we'll call it a gain of 3 for Sheldon. And it's 3rd down and 5. 3rd down and 5 with 20 seconds to go. Cloquet gets to the line really quickly. Shotgun formation, trips to the left. Sheldon takes the snap. He's going to look to his left. He throws it over the middle. It's tipped! And it was tipped there by Joey Donahue of the Vikings. He tipped it, got a hand on it, and that'll bring up fourth down. Nice job there by Donahue to watch the quarterback's eyes, get his hand up just in time. The completion would have been there. It would have been close to a first down. I think they would have had the first down. But Donahue got his hand in the way and tipped that pass. Fourth down with 12 seconds to go in the third quarter. Vikings lead 21-0.
It's fourth down, Mason
We'll have two receivers at the top of the formation for Sheldon. Sheldon in the gun. Takes the snap. He's going to roll to his left, trying to find that cutback lane up the middle. He does. Did he get there? And I think he did at the 15, and it'll look like they'll spot him at the 14. It'll be a gain of 5, and that should be enough for a first down. Reese Sheldon does get enough for the first down to the 14-yard line. It'll reset the downs, but that will be it for the... maybe not yet. There we go. And that will be it for the third quarter of play. We'll move to the fourth quarter. 12 minutes to go in this game, and the winner will punch their ticket to the state tournament. Vikings lead 21-0 here at home over the Cloquet Lumberjacks, and they are 12 minutes away from punching their ticket to the state tournament. Stay tuned here on 106.5 FM. We'll be right back after a quick break and a word from our fine sponsors.
No appointment? No problem. Injuries and feeling ill don't always happen during normal business hours. That's why Wellia Health has urgency services open 7 days a week. Urgency Services in Pine City offers the care you need when you need it. Hours are now 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 days a week. No need to call or make an appointment. Just stop in. When tomorrow isn't soon enough and normal business hours just won't do, you can count on Wellia Health to be there for you. Live life well at Wellia Health.
Back here on WCMP 106.5 FM, AM 1350. The North Branch Vikings lead 21-0 over the Cloquet Lumberjacks as we move to the fourth quarter. 12 minutes to go here, and North Branch trying to punch their ticket to the state tournament. They've got 12 minutes, but Cloquet does have the ball on the North Branch 14-yard line, trying to punch it into the end zone here. North Branch took off over 8 minutes on their lone drive in the third quarter. Cloquet, shotgun, two receivers at the top of the formation. They're now going left to right on your radio dial. Sheldon takes a snap and he throws. Oh, that is into dangerous coverage. Lucky that one wasn't picked off. Volner right there to knock that one away, and give Sheldon credit. He was under intense pressure. He just had to get that one out before taking the sack, but that's a dangerous throw because that could have been easily intercepted. Volner just hits it to the ground, and the Lumberjacks will live to fight another down, second down and 10 after that incompletion. Second down and 10 now for the Lumberjacks as they work it back to the line of scrimmage. Two receivers top of the formation. Sheldon takes a snap, and it's a reverse, and the ball's on the ground. Ball still on the ground, and the Vikings will come up with it. Volner will get the fumble, and the North Branch Vikings have their third takeaway of the evening and their third fumble recovery. It was a reverse. They gave it off to Bonneville, and then it looked like, then they gave it off to Haitala, and he fumbled it as he was coming back on the reverse. And Volner came up with the ball, and they will take over at their own 18-yard line. 11:49 to go. And they'll start this drive on their own 18-yard line, and we know the Vikings can very well take off plenty of clock on a drive, and they will look to do that here and try and run out the rest of the time here in this fourth quarter. But it looks like Lumberjacks had a hard time getting the right amount of players on or off the field. And the Lumberjacks will call a timeout. They'll have 2 left here in the fourth quarter. The North Branch Vikings lead 21-0 here in the fourth quarter over the Cloquet Lumberjacks at home. The North Branch Vikings get a rare home section championship game. And if they win, they're punching their ticket to the state tournament. Of course, they were so close last year against the Grand Rapids Thunderhawks. They fell, I believe, final score 14-12. So this year, trying to get there and win in this championship game. Of course, they get to play it at home. Very rare you get to play a section championship at home, but the North Branch Vikings do get that opportunity to do so here this evening, and so far so good. They lead 21-0, and if you're just joining us, that 21-0 score comes from Preston Peterson scoring a touchdown early on a rushing one from himself on one of their first drives, and then on the next drive they scored from Logan Kroll. They were up 14-0 at half, but then on a 4th down and 9, they ran a trick play where Preston Peterson handed it off to Logan Kroll. He stepped back and threw it to the opposite side of the field, the far side of the field, and found Preston Peterson as quarterback in the end zone for a touchdown. Then they made the extra point. That's how we get to 21-0 here in this one. Preston Peterson now back to the line out of the timeout, and he'll give it off the left side of the line to Vincent Beck. Beck will get it to about the 21 for a pickup of 3, and that'll bring up 2nd down. So Vincent Beck seeing a good chunk of carries there on their first drive of the second half in that third quarter. Their only drive in that third quarter. And not a huge gains, but he did a good job just to get forward. Pick up about 4 yards to carry. Peterson will bring his men back to the line. 2nd down and 7. Peterson under center, takes a snap, gives it off right side to Logan Kroll. Logan Kroll will take it off the right side. He's grinding forward past the 25 to about the 27. It will be a pickup of 6, and they'll be about a yard short of that first down. Logan Kroll has been busy tonight. He has been their bell cow. That was his 20th carry, and he's well over 100 yards this evening. So 3rd down, and well, it'll be about 2 yards to go. 3rd and 2 now for the North Branch Vikings with 10:35 to go in this 4th quarter. A big 3rd down here for the North Branch Vikings. If they can convert, it'll be a new set of downs, and that would be big. Preston Peterson takes the snap. He gives it off right side. Kroll ducks under a defender, flies forward, gets past the 30 to, well, they might actually mark him at the 30, but either way, that's enough for a first down on the 3-yard gain.
Gain of 3 yards.
So 1st down and 10 for the North Branch Vikings. We'll have a new set of downs at their own 30. Of course, they're going to just take as much time as they can off the clock with each play. They probably won't snap it with till about 5 seconds left from each play from here on out. Get the play call late in this time with 10 seconds left on the play clock. They get it into the huddle, and now they'll get to the line with 5 seconds to go. They're going to have to snap the ball here quickly this time. Maybe a little bit too long on that one, but they do get it snapped, and they'll hand it off on the left side of the line. That's Vincent Beck, who doesn't get too much of anywhere, but to the 32-yard line maybe. It'll be a gain of 2 for Vincent Beck.
3 yards brings up 2nd and 7.
It's 2, and it'll be 2nd down and 8 now for the North Branch Vikings on their own 32-yard line. With 9:30 to go here in the 4th quarter, Vikings lead 21-0. And Vikings had over an 8-minute drive in that 3rd quarter. That led to Cloquet only having a short amount of time for a drive themselves and wound up in a turnover. They fumbled, and North Branch pounced on top of it. Preston Peterson will hand it off up the middle. He breaks free. There goes Logan Kroll. Actually, that's Vincent Beck. Beck with the carry. He is gone. Vincent Beck takes it in from 68 yards out and extends this Viking lead to 27-0. A 68-yard carry there from Vincent Beck breaks this one open and makes it 27-0 here with 8:59 to go in the 4th quarter. They will line up to go for the extra point. Snap, spot, down, kick, up, and good. 28-0 is the lead for the North Branch Vikings on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Embrace Orthodontics, custom braces or Invisalign with 3 locations in Pine City, Lyncham, and Cambridge. Of course, Dr. Sievers is committed to providing world-class orthodontic care in a friendly and comfortable atmosphere. Start today. And they're also helping you find a smile you'll embrace forever. Find out more at EmbraceMN.com. The North Branch Vikings, 9 minutes from punching that ticket to the state tournament. They lead 28-0 here on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard with about 9 minutes to go. And Justin Voss, last year they were so close but fell. This year they are back and looking to get themselves into that state tournament. Justin Voss, he's talked about family, how he's trying to set that culture of family here at North Branch and be unselfish. And man, oh man, Vincent Beck hasn't been doing much all night. He had 24 yards in the first half, and after that 68-yard run, he's going to be near 100 now. And this is just, it's such an unselfish team. And I think that mantra of family has really, really implemented itself over these last couple of seasons for these Vikings. 28-0, and the Vikings will get set to kick it away. Bovitz getting ready to kick it. Oh, the Cloquet Lumberjacks will get it. They'll have about 3 guys back to receive this one. And Bovitz with the boot. This one is a lobber to the left side, but that's going to roll out of bounds. Beck was running after it as fast as he possibly could, but he's not going to get to it nearly in time. That'll be a flag, and that where the ball went out, it won't move the ball much forward, but to the 35. So Lumberjacks will start as the 35. It'll be and actually, it looks like they're going to have the Vikings re-kick. Yeah, looks like they will. The Vikings will re-kick here. Interesting. So the Lumberjacks don't want to start on their own 35. Instead, they want the Vikings to re-kick. So Bovitz will have to do it again. And it'll be interesting to see the North Branch strategy here. And see what they do as they're kicking it away from the 35 instead of the 40. And let's see what they do. Bovitz will go back to the left side. And is it enough? It is. And Beck got the onside kick recovered past the 50. That's what I was waiting for. I was waiting to see if the ball went far enough for the onside recovery. It did. So Vincent Beck will get it recovered, and North Branch takes back over. So the re-kick does not work in in Cloquet's favor. North Branch instead comes away with it. And with 8:59 to go, you can bet they're going to just do everything they can to run this clock out, and probably won't rush for another touchdown. They'll probably stay out of the end zone if that were to happen, just to get that clock a-rolling. 8:59 to go, and after the onside kick recovery, North Branch has it again at the Cloquet 45. Peterson under center. Peterson takes the snap. He's going to give it off up the middle, and nowhere to go for Peterson himself on the fake. So it was not a give up the middle. He took it himself up the middle. No gain there for Preston Peterson, but that will get the clock rolling. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 to go here for the Vikings as that clock continues to run. Vikings lead 28-0 over the Cloquet Lumberjacks here in the 4th quarter. Under 8.5 to go now, and that last touchdown was scored by Vincent Beck from 68 yards out. It was a beautiful rushing touchdown from him, and now the give right back up the middle that time to the 43-yard line. Be gain of about 2 there, and it will be 3rd down and 8 now for the North Branch Vikings. Third and 8 from the little Lumberjack 43-yard line, with 7:40 to go in the 4th quarter. Well, 3rd and 8 Vikings take the snap. Peterson gives it off to Logan Kroll off the right sideline. He had a lane to run through and then ran into a brick wall at the 41. He'll get a gain of 2, and that'll bring up 4th down and 6. Fourth down and 6 as that clock continues to run with 7:15 left in the 4th. Vikings will come to the sideline, presumably call a timeout after the play clock has rolled all the way down, and then we'll see what they do after that. 7:02, 7 minutes left now. And they will run their punting unit onto the field with 3, 2, and 1. They'll have to call a timeout. There it is. So they tried to do the late run on with their punt team, but they got them out there too late. So the Vikings will take a timeout here with 6:47 to go in the 4th quarter. They will be left with 1 here the rest of the way. Cloquet still has 2 left in this 4th quarter, but they trail 28-0. So the North Branch Vikings 6:47 away from punching their ticket to the state tournament and grabbing that Section 7-4A championship trophy. North Branch, again, fell to Grand Rapids last year in a heartbreaker. They were the number 1 seed last year with the Vikings, but they fell to Grand Rapids by 2 this year. Grand Rapids not part of the equation after Cloquet put a beating on them, and now North Branch at home, home field advantage, looking to use it in their favor. So far, so good. A first touchdown of the game was scored by Preston Peterson from 36 yards out, and then it was Logan Kroll from 2 yards out. Then a pass from Logan Kroll to his quarterback Peterson for a touchdown, and then most recently Vincent Beck took it in from 68 yards out. Johnstone will punt this one away to the right side. That's not going to get a Viking roll, and that'll be out near the 30 at about the 27-yard line, I think is where they'll spot it. So that's where the Lumberjacks are going to take over on offense with 6:41 to go. Not the punt I think the Vikings were hoping for, but it does move the ball back some. And the Lumberjacks will come back out on offense, trying to figure out something to do. They've got a short amount of time to score 4 touchdowns. Let's see what they can do here on the first play of the drive. With the ball on their own 27. 2 receivers top of the formation here. They send a man in motion, and then one of the receivers is going to move early. And moving early that time was Cooper Elena. And that'll be their first penalty here of the second half. And that'll move them back 5. So false start will move them back to the 22. No time off the clock. And they will start with 1st and 15 instead of 1st and 10. So not ideal what you want there for a Cloquet. The receiver moved early on the right side of the line. And they'll get back, same formation. They'll send a man in motion, left to right. And they'll take the snap. Will the quarterback Sheldon, he's going to look deep. He's got a man deep. He's got a man wide open, and he dropped it. Cooper Elena dropped it. And Volner going up to Elena and just was very, very sportsmanlike. Volner went up to Elena, who just dropped that walk-in touchdown. I mean, he would have been able to walk the rest of the way in. But Volner showing good sportsmanship there, going up to Elena. And it looked like he was consoling him a little bit. Of course, we don't know what he said, but it looked like he was consoling him. Didn't look like anything bad. Cloquet will line up shotgun formation, trips to the right side of the formation or at the bottom of the formation. They'll move to the Wildcat once again. A give there. And no, this time it will be a keeper for the running back, Bonneville, and he doesn't get much on that one. But he does get it to the 25, so a gain of 3 for Bonneville, and that'll bring up 3rd and 12 for the Lumberjacks. They tried that Wildcat kind of give to the quarterback and then a reverse back. But that time Bonneville keeps it. He picks it up to the 25, only a gain of 3, 3rd down and 12 now. The clock runs. And creeping up to about 6 minutes to go now. Shotgun formation. 2 receivers at the bottom of the formation for Cloquet. Send man in motion left to right. Sheldon takes the snap. He's looking. Doesn't have anyone real wide open, and he throws it, and it's nearly intercepted by the cover man, Jay Kramer, who's out there in coverage. He knocks it down incomplete, and that will bring up 4th down on the incomplete pass from Reese Sheldon. So incompletion is probably the best thing there for the Cloquet Lumberjacks, because if that one's picked off, man, that would have really been hard for Cloquet to do much of anything. So the incompletion will make it 4th down and 12 now for the Lumberjacks. And they'll take the snap, and Sheldon will look to pass it again. He does have a man deep. Instead, he goes over the middle. He's got him, and it's incomplete. Threw just a little bit behind Haitala on 4th down. So that will be a turnover on downs, and the North Branch Vikings offense will take over on the Cloquet 25-yard line. Back-to-back incompletions there leads to a turnover on downs, and the Vikings will get it back. It's going to be their 3rd possession here of the second half, and 5:39 to go, and they're going to be moving on to the state tournament with 5:39 to go. Still some time left, but a 28-0 deficit going to be hard to overcome for Cloquet, with Vikings defense really stepping up here in the second half and making a ton of plays. Getting a couple substitutions in late here for the Vikings. They're going to have to hurry to the line of scrimmage and snap the ball with 5 seconds left on the play clock. 4, 3, 2, 1, and Peterson will get the ball off in time. And looks like the give, I believe Peterson maybe actually held on to it. Back to the 25, so no gain on the play from Preston Peterson. 2nd down and 10 now. Clock will continue to run. 5.5 minutes to go now in the 4th quarter, as the Vikings just trying to run out the rest of the clock here in the 4th quarter and grab the section championship. Peterson will take the snap. He'll give it off to Beck off the left side, and Beck is, he's just going to run it in. So Beck will run it in from 25 yards out, and I can't really blame him. So Beck will run it in from 25 yards out and make it a 34-0 game. And that will pretty much seal this one for the North Branch Vikings. Still 5:05 to go, but it will be, you'd have to score a touchdown every minute if you're Cloquet, and I guess it's not impossible, but it'd be really tough. Vikings will line up to go for the extra point. Bobbitt's kick is no good this time. So 34-0 will be the score on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. The North Branch Vikings lead 34-0. Embrace Orthodontics, helping you find a smile you'll embrace forever. They also have your customized smile journey. That starts with them with a free consultation. The team at Embrace Orthodontics wants to make your journey as seamless and convenient as possible with custom braces or Invisalign. The Embrace Orthodontics, they will do all the heavy insurance lifting for you, and if you don't have insurance, ask about financing options. They'll find a plan to fit your budget. With 5:05 left, it's 34-0, and the North Branch Vikings looking to make it to state. And I just got a note from, the WCMP Morning Show host, Joshua Miron, that says if they can hold on here, which it looks like they might with their defense playing as well as they have, this will be the first time that the North Branch football team has made it to the state tournament. They were so close last year, but they lost to Grand Rapids this year. It looks like they're going to do it. 34-0 they lead, 5:05 to go. Thanks to Joshua Miron for getting me that note. It would be, if they win, it'll be a first time in history that this football team makes it to the state tournament. Again, thank you to Joshua Miron for handing me that note and letting me know that. Wow. That's crazy. Bobbitt will kick it away here from North Branch. 5:05 to go. There's the boot. This will be a normal kickoff, and it'll be taken in at the 15. They'll run a reverse, and now they're going to throw it backside, and it's on the ground. Uh-oh. Oh, that did not go the way Cloquet would have liked it to go. So the throw back across the field after the reverse is going to roll on the ground back to the 11 before the Lumberjacks pick it up. So the Lumberjacks will have it, and unfortunately they're going to have it deep in their own territory at the 11. Lumberjacks have it first down and 10 at their own 11-yard line with under 5 minutes to go. 4:56 is the exact amount of time. Vikings trying to run a player on and off. Looks like they'll keep him off for now. Send a man in motion left to right will the Lumberjacks. Reese Sheldon, will run off the right side of the line, and he'll get plenty for the first down. He'll pick up 11 to the 22-yard line on that carry from Reese Sheldon. That'll be a first down carry, and he gets out of bounds. 4:49 to go, so he got out of bounds. That'll stop the clock. Again, Cloquet will have to score a touchdown every minute if they want to get the victory and go to state themselves, but it'll be tough. This North Branch defense has stepped up in a huge way in this second half. Sheldon will take the snap. He's going to throw it a little out route there to the receiver, and the receiver will get up. That's Painovich. Painovich will get it to the 46-yard line. A pickup of 24 for Painovich. From Sheldon to Painovich, and all of a sudden, Cloquet is starting to march the ball downfield, trying to get a little bit of a spark for that offense just in any way they can. It's a 24-yard catch and run for Painovich. And again, they'll line up in the shotgun formation. Two receivers at the bottom for formation here for Reese Sheldon. He takes the snap, fakes the give to Bonneville. He rolls out to his right. He's looking. He throws it back to the left side to Bonneville. Bonneville has it past 50, 45, 40, 35, 30. Cuts it back to the 25, 20. He's gone! And that's what Bonneville can do. Oh my. From 54 yards away. From 54 yards away, Bonneville takes it in to the end zone. And he made a couple of nasty cutbacks on that touchdown pass. So they are, so far, so good. The average is there. They score in under a minute to make it 34-6. That was a smart play there by their quarterback Sheldon, just to throw it back across the field to the wide open man, and he got it to him, and then Bonneville did the rest. It will line up to go for two. Two receivers, the bottom formation, shotgun here for Sheldon. Sends a man in motion left to right. Sheldon takes a snap. He's going to roll to his right. No, instead he hands it off to Bonneville. Not fooled is the defense, and North Branches taking him down in the backfield. That's Matthew Lavala. Takes him down in the backfield, and the two-point conversion is no good. The North Branch Vikings still lead here, 34-6 with 4:27 to go, but Cloquet, as I said, they are going to have to score a touchdown every minute, and so far, well, they're there at that average. Now they're going to have to at least score a two-point conversion on the next couple in order to get to that 35 mark or 36 mark like they want. So it's not over yet, folks. Cloquet scores in under a minute. And we'll line up to kick things away here. 4:27, 34-6 is the score. Your North Branch Vikings lead over the Cloquet Lumberjacks in this Section 7 4A championship matchup here in North Branch. But the Lumberjacks will more than likely go for the onside kick here, and we'll see who recovers it. Well, here we go. It'll be Painovich who lines up for the kick, and it's the onside kick. And going back and recovering it is the Vikings and they will have it at the 46, 47-yard line. Getting it was Logan Kroll. He did a great job of getting that one. He gets it, and we'll wait and see where they spot the ball on the far side of the field. But the North Branch Vikings will take over on offense at the 46-yard line on their own side of the 50 with 4:26 to go, and you can bet they will run this ball and try and drain the clock as much as they can. Cloquet still has 2 of their timeouts left, so it's not over by any means, but you can bet they'll be saving those for later because they'll want to score at least 3 more times before wanting to or having to use those timeouts. Logan Kroll will get the carry off the right side of the line. Not much to speak of on that carry. He'll pick up 2 on his busy night. Another 2 yards for him, just added on to the total. Well over 100 yards here this evening. Peterson will come to the sideline to grab the play call, and he will slowly make his way back into the huddle with now under 4 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Peterson will take his men to the line with 10 seconds on the play clock. 3:45 to go on the game clock. Peterson will hand it off here to the outside, and Beck on the outside to the 45, and oh no, he's going to give, so he was pushed out of bounds, and the clock will continue to run. No, they're going to stop it now. Oh, a nice 20-yard gain there for Beck, and he should be at about 100 yards now with that carry. That carry puts them at the 36.5-yard line. Knows the ball sits at the 36. The clock will run after they reset the chains, and the Vikings will look to try and drain the rest of this clock. Under 3.5 minutes to go here in this final quarter of play. And it stands basically full for the North Branch Vikings, so if they can hold on here, this fan base will erupt. Beck with the carry does a great job of putting 2 hands on the ball, carries it forward to the 34, a gain of 2 for Vincent Beck. 2nd down and 8 now for the North Branch Vikings with under 3 minutes to go. And if you're a Viking fan, you're just waiting that clock to roll down. Even these Vikings players, I'm sure, and give credit to these Vikings players. They're doing a really good job of not, focusing as to what could be once this time hits 0. They're continuing to play this game and play hard and focus on not turning the ball over as well. Peterson will take the snap. He'll give it off to Logan Kroll off the right sideline. Kroll trying to bounce it outside. He needs to slide. He does to stay in bounds. Smart play by Logan Kroll, who gets it to the 25-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 9, and it'll be a 1st down. Logan Kroll, a very smart play there by him to slide to stay in bounds. And the clock will run after they reset the chains. Logan Kroll will check out. He's had a busy night, and going into the game for him is Volner. He'll check in. Logan Kroll, his night will probably be over. He's had a great night. Under 2 minutes to go. Preston Peterson under center takes the snap, and he'll hand it off to Vincent Beck. Beck will take it off the left side of the line, and he'll slide down inside the 20 at about the 18. It's a gain of 7 for Vincent Beck, who is over 100 yards now in the game.
Gain of 7, Erickson on the tackle.
Beck comes up a little bit shaken. A gain of 8, maybe 7. We'll call it 7 yards for Vincent Beck. And under 1.5 minutes to go here in the game. And the North Branch Vikings are on their way to state. Clock continuing to run. 1:10 to go. Preston Peterson takes the snap, gives it off to Vincent Beck off the right side. And he's going to be wrapped up and taken down. He doesn't gain anything, but doesn't lose anything either on that carry. So no gain. They'll bring up 3rd down, and all they'll need to run is one more play, and that will be it. So Preston Peterson will run back out. All they need is one more play, and that'll wrap it up. Probably wait to snap this with under 10 seconds on the play clock, but 30 seconds, there you go. This will be the last play of the game. Victory formation, North Branch kneels, and there you go! The North Branch Vikings have punched their ticket to the state tournament for the first time in their football program's history. Congratulations here to the North Branch Vikings. They are Section 7 4A champions, and the players are ferociously trying to get that cap off the Gatorade to try and go dunk it on their head coach, Justin Voss. He's trying to run away with it, and he gets dunked on, and the Vikings are headed to the state tournament. Congratulations to the North Branch Vikings. Once again, they are Section 7 4A champions, and they have punched their ticket to the state tournament in Class 4A. So the North Branch Vikings are headed to the state tournament for the first time in their football program's history. Congratulations to the North Branch Vikings. They are headed to state, and congratulations to Cloquet on a great football season. 2 upset victories in the playoffs. Just a huge good season for the Cloquet Lumberjacks, but unfortunately comes to an end here tonight. The final here in this one, 34-6, the North Branch Vikings punched their ticket to the state tournament for the first time in their program history. That final on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard, 34-6. We'll take a commercial break. We'll be right back to recap this one, and we will let you know who's won in the other games. You're listening to football on 106.5 FM, AM 1350, WCMP.
It's almost time to start pushing snow. Sorry, just the messenger. Thankfully, Minnesota Equipment in Isanti has affordable machines to do the heavy lifting. Any size property. Toro and Aaron's walk behind snow blowers. Oh, you got land, huh? How about John Deere lawn and garden tractors? Or a compact utility tractor? Minnesota Equipment has them in stock. Snow removal doesn't have to be backbreaking. Not if you get into Minnesota Equipment, Highway 65 in Isanti, or visit minnesotaequipment.com. End of the season means savings at Minnesota Equipment. Save big on remaining zero turns in stock. Bravely, Aaron's, Toro, and John Deere. Buy now with 0% financing available. That's 0 on zero turns. Need a walk behind instead? I got plenty of those too. On site and ready to go. The knowledgeable staff will get you the machine that fits your property size. Minnesota Equipment. Your neighbors. Your experts. Your neighborly experts. Highway 65 in Isanti or at minnesotaequipment.com.
Most Americans do not have a proper will or estate plan in place. Many of you listening have been putting off that important task for a long time. Stop waiting and contact Spear & Swanson today. Spear & Swanson can help you put together a tight legal estate plan to make sure the assets you've been working so hard to obtain get passed on to your loved ones in the way that best fits you. Spear & Swanson, attorneys at law in Pine City. Call 320-629-7586. That's 320-629-7586.
October is College Knowledge Month at Pine Technical and Community College. The whole month, PTCC will be providing a variety of events for high school students and the community to learn more about college options. College Knowledge Month is meant to provide future students with the preparation, opportunity, and support needed to apply to college. Join PTCC for a nursing program information session on October 26th at 2:30 p.m. Everyone is welcome. Learn more at pine.edu.
Choose the right divorce attorney. Spear & Swanson will make sure the judge knows your side of the story. Let them help you with your divorce, custody, child support, harassment, or orders for protection. They also handle DWIs and other legal matters. The right divorce attorney does make a difference. That's why you need to choose Spear & Swanson, attorneys at law in Pine City. Call 320-620-7586.
Back here on 106.5 FM, AM 1350, WCMP. The North Branch Vikings win 34-6 and are headed to the state tournament. Congratulations to these Vikings on the great season they've had and now punching their ticket to the state tournament for the first time in their football program's history. So congratulations to them. And also, before I forget, Malacca has defeated Foley. So Malacca is headed to the state tournament. We have 3 teams in football headed to the state tournament this year. What a year it has been for these teams. And Malacca wins 42-22. So we've got 3 football teams headed to the state tournament this year, and we will of course, be out at State to bring you all the action from those games from Ogilvie in 9-man, from Malacca in Class 3A, and from North Branch in Class 4A. The North Branch Vikings have 53 carries tonight for 407 yards rushing and 4 rushing touchdowns this evening. Of course, the one passing touchdown came from Logan Kroll, who threw it back to his quarterback, Preston Peterson, for a 16-yard touchdown on 4th down and 9. Leading their way for the North Branch Vikings was Vincent Beck with 16 carries and 180 yards. And then it was Logan Kroll, 24 carries, 154 yards, and a touchdown, 2 touchdowns for Vincent Beck. Preston Peterson had 9 carries, 67 yards, and 4 carries, 6 yards for Sam Robillard. Congratulations to the North Branch Vikings. They made it to the state tournament in football for the first time in program history. And, of course, stay tuned. We'll be out there covering those games as long as they are in it. Give a huge shout-out to Cloquet, too. They had a great season. They were on the road, or they beat Denfeld at home, and then they were on the road to take on Grand Rapids, the number 1 seed, by a heavy favorite. And they went in there and beat them 42-15. That is no small feat, and that shouldn't go unmentioned the rest of the season. And I know Cloquet's going to be upset for a while. They're gonna have time to think about this one for a while. And after they do, what they got to look back and realize is this is a great season, even though it ended where they didn't want it to. They beat the number 1 seed Grand Rapids, who was the absolute favorite to go to the state tournament from this section. But instead, it's Cloquet who gets the upset over Grand Rapids. So give a huge, huge, huge shout out to Cloquet for getting the victory over Grand Rapids and getting to this section champion. That is no small feat, and it should not go unmentioned. Again, to beat Cloquet, to beat Grand Rapids, that is no small feat. The fans are going to certainly be on the field. And the North Branch Vikings have won 34-6 over the Cloquet Lumberjacks. So that does it for me here in North Branch. I want to thank everyone who tuned in here tonight. Thanks to all the fine sponsors who sponsored this broadcast. Thank you so much for sponsoring this broadcast. Without you, we couldn't come out here and call this game, so make sure to give them your business and thank them for sponsoring this broadcast. We'll be out covering North Branch, Malacca, and Ogilvie all in their state tournament run, so stay tuned to the morning shows on WCMP and KBK. We'll keep you up to date on all those and who they'll play, when they'll play, and where they'll play. Stay tuned to the morning show on KBK 95.5 FM with Rock and Robin Riley at 7:30 and 8:30, and on 100.9 with Joshua Miron at 7:45 and 8:45 for your sports updates with me, Ethan Game Day Gilman, and I'll let you know where North Branch and when they'll play and who they'll play, along with Malacca and Ogilvie. Once again, the final here in the Section 7 4A Championship. North Branch hits the victory 34-6 over the Cloquet Lumberjacks. They are your Section 7 4A champions. Congratulations to the North Branch Vikings on the great year and making it to state for the first time in their football program's history. Once again, for WCMP, I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman. Be sure to be kind to everyone. You never know what someone is going through, and your kindness could really change and make their day. Again, the final here in the Section 7 4A Championship. Your North Branch Vikings are Section 7 4A champions, 34-6 over the Cloquet Lumberjacks. For WCMP, I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman. Have a great rest of your night, and have a great weekend. are going to certainly be on the field. And the North Branch Vikings have won 34-6 over the Cloquet Lumberjacks. So that does it for me here in North Branch. I want to thank everyone who tuned in here tonight. Thanks to all the fine sponsors who sponsored this broadcast. Thank you so much for sponsoring this broadcast. Without you, we couldn't come out here and call this game, so make sure to give them your business and thank them for sponsoring this broadcast. We'll be out covering North Branch, Malacca, and Ogilvie all in their state tournament run, so stay tuned to the morning shows on WCMP and KBEK. We'll keep you up to date on all those and who they'll play, when they'll play, and where they'll play. Stay tuned to the morning show on KBEK 95.5 FM with Rock and Robin Riley at 7:30 and 8:30, and on 100.9 with Joshua Miron at 7:45 and 8:45 for your sports updates with me, Ethan Game Day Gilman, and I'll let you know where North Branch and when they'll play and who they'll play, along with Malacca and Ogilvie. Once again, the final here in the Section 7 4A Championship. North Branch hits the victory 34-6 over the Cloquet Lumberjacks. They are your Section 7 4A champions. Congratulations to the North Branch Vikings on the great year and making it to state for the first time in their football program's history. Once again, for WCMP, I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman. Be sure to be kind to everyone. You never know what someone is going through, and your kindness could really change and make their day. Again, the final here in the Section 7 4A Championship. Your North Branch Vikings are Section 7 4A champions, 34-6 over the Cloquet Lumberjacks. For WCMP, I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman. Have a great rest of your night, and have a great weekend.